Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. Today we got for y'all the Week 9 recap. Pretty interesting week. We had a lot of crazy highlight plays between the Michael Jordan, Garrett Wilson catch, Saquon's backward hurdle. A lot of crazy moments, but let's get into it. Let's start off with Thursday night football. Speaking of Garrett Wilson, aka MJ, the Jets got this one out, man. How'd you feel about this one? I know it was a couple days ago, but still.
I mean, I don't really have no feelings for the Jets or the Texans, but it was one of those. It just seemed like you know Vegas knew what they was doing, and again, it was just one of those situations where Jets were playing at home. CJ Stroud doesn't really play as well as he does home as he does away, and they were down linemen. And I'll stress it all the time: is the second these boys get down there, offensive linemen, and you're dealing with pass rush, everybody becomes below average. Everybody's average, and that's kind of what happened happened to the Texans, especially being down Stephon Diggs and also Nico Collins sitting out too. Think Dell was able to have a good day, but outside of that, it was kind of quiet for the boy, and it shows, especially on that last drive when they had a chance to come back and win or come back to tie the game up, and they can't even get into the end zone. He gets sacked and all everything is written after that. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things where they definitely Vegas knew that the Jets was going to get that one, and yeah, hats off to them for that. And that's why I kind of just was hell bent on staying away from the game altogether.
Yeah, what CJ Stroud gets at like 8 times, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got sacked eight times. Eight times, 59% quarterback rating. I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's putting up them Anthony Richardson stats in that game. Yeah, I
right.
mean this was a trap spot for the Texans. You saw it in the line. You kind of felt the energy for this Thursday night football game, um, and this is why like I wasn't completely crushing Aaron Rodgers. I'm more crushing like the Jets organization for how they handled like him coming to the team. I think if you had, a stronger personality leading the ship, leading the locker room, leading the coaching staff, I think the Jets would be better off right now. And I did my predictions for the rest of the season. I have the Jets winning 6 games. I don't think much changes. Like I'm not hopping back on the Jets bandwagon at all because of this game. I think they caught the Texans at a great time. And to me, there's not much to take away from this game. I'm still high on the Texans, still not very high on the Jets. Let's see. They got the Cardinals next week, who they just pick up. Then they just make a move.
Oh yeah, they picked up Brian Browning,
Right.
pass
So
rusher, pass rusher from Denver.
got it. So yeah, they got the Cardinals who they're kind of rolling. You got the Colts. Say what you want about the Colts, but they have like star players all throughout that roster. They're any given Sunday type team. Then they got the Seahawks, division game, the Dolphins, the Jags, the Rams, Bills, and then the Dolphins again. So I don't see them rattling off like a crazy Bills win streak at the end of the season like they did last year to like make the wild card. But this was a good win. Like they looked good out there. Devontae Adams, they finally started to get clicking. So let's see if they could keep that going. But I got to see more consistency from this Jets team. But yeah, besides that, highlight play of the year. You like that one? You an
Yeah,
MJ
I
fan?
mean, I'm glad they gave it to him. I don't know if anybody else really gets that touchdown, but they called it in, and I mean he deserved it. So I'm glad I'm just glad they gave it to him.
It doesn't sound like you glad. It sounds like you're like, I don't know if that was in. You didn't agree with the call?
I really am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad they gave him the touchdown, but it's not. I'm not about to act like I'm gonna be. And I got Garrett Wilson on my fantasy team, but it's not like I'm gonna be geeked up over, you know, this football team necessarily. But it was one hell of a play. So, and like Pickens had a crazy ass catch too on Monday. and he got 1 foot down twice, and they were like, "Yeah, that's not a touchdown." You know what I mean? So it's
Who,
just like,
Pickens? I
yeah.
wasn't this Garrett Wilson play? He got like his shin and a foot, and so they
Well,
counted it.
his shin was his knee was out. I thought his knee was out, so I thought it was out because he got 1 foot down and the knee was out. But I guess they
No,
said
no.
the
So
shin hit before the knee
his
or
shin
something.
was yeah, the shin was in, the knee was out, but because he got that shin in, I don't know. Like, we gotta look at the rule books for that
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, look, I'm just glad I like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just glad they gave it to him. Like, whatever works. So, yeah.
Yeah, we can move on. Next up, Saints Panthers. This was a part of my parlay too. I had the Panthers covering. Wish I took a money line, but at least I wasn't sweating too hard this game. Besides the fourth quarter, where uh, I think the Saints are up 5 or something, and they could have scored again and covered that way. But yeah, I mean, the biggest story coming out of this one is the Saints, that locker room, that organization's kind of imploding. Dennis Allen fired. You have Cam Jordan. I think who is it? Kalen Sanders on Twitter, just pouring their hearts out, treating it like a diary. You got ex-player Slant Boy, aka Michael Thomas, talking his shit. Everyone's crushing Derek Carr. Olave stretched out again. It feels like I feel like this is the fourth time I've seen Olave just get knocked out the game. It's almost like a running gag this season. Shit is crazy. Like, can we protect him, bro? Like, I'm starting to feel like I'm feeling bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate. Gotta give credit where credit's due, and you gotta give credit to the Panthers. They played a division rival at home, and they covered. You know what I mean? They got a good win. Bryce Young looked like he was serviceable out there, without not much help from his wide receiver core. I mean, I seen like 4 or 5 plays where he literally lays the ball in their hand, and it becomes an interception or it's a drop pass. So it looked like him sitting on the bench for those few weeks, for that month and a half, actually did some good for him, and he's seeing the field a little bit better. Unfortunately, his wide receivers still really aren't showing them as much love as they need to. But yeah, I mean, outside of what Carolina did, the Saints, Alvin Kamara, he did his thing, which was expected, having over 200 yards all purpose. Taysom Hill got into the end zone, but yeah, I mean, it's a good Panthers win, and they can get that W, feel happy, be proud of themselves, and not necessarily have to worry about losing out on the first overall pick.
You said not have to, because of the record. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams tied at, what is it, 2-7 right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how the draft order shapes out.
Yeah, but I
But
got a
yeah,
lot of faith that those teams will end up beating each other. I don't really see any more wins for this Panthers team. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the Panthers, you go in there, beat a division opponent, and then that's the catalyst for the locker room to self destruct. Saints on a 7-game losing streak after starting 2-0. So I mean, it's just wild. So you gotta feel good if you're the Panthers. You just look over there, it's like, yeah, clear house, W Panthers. You know what I mean? But I mean, where do you think the Saints go from here? I mean, to me, it's about time y'all embrace the rebuild. Y'all should have embraced the rebuild back when Trump was still in office. Like, you guys have been doing the same thing, paying players like you guys are a contender or something like that. Dennis Allen, this is the second time he got fired as a head coach with Derek Carr at the helm. So that's an interesting record. Shout out to Dennis Allen. I'm sure he has a DC job in his future, but yeah, I mean, I think this is something's got to give. If the Saints are around 500, they might keep it pushing and turn over next season and do the same shit over again. So if I'm a Saints fan, I'm hoping that this is just the final the last straw, and we start this rebuild and really embrace it instead of riding the fence and or are we buyers at deadline, blah blah blah. They made a let's see, they traded Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders, so Mike Evans is happy today. So shout out to Mike Evans.
Right.
But actually, they both made a trade in these past couple of days. Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys. How you feel about that move, bro? Didn't y'all give up like a fourth?
Yeah. So it's just indifferent.
Indifferent.
Yeah. I mean,
are you mad at the Capital loss?
nah. Like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like when you like I always say, when you understand, like, you actually understand your football team and how they operate, it doesn't make me mad or upset. Like it don't make me anything. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, they have their reasoning for doing it, and it's like, okay, you probably could have got Buddy for a sixth, but you feel like throwing up a fourth, whatever. We got like 10 picks in this year's draft. So they're like, oh, we need to move up to go into the fourth round. We had the capital to do it. Fine. But you still could have you probably could have got him for a six. But I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, we just got to see if he's productive, because at the end of the day, he was drafted in the second round of the 23 draft, 6'2", 220. Definitely needs some juice in that receiver room. But, we'll get to the Cowboys and all that later. But, yeah, next week for the Panthers, we have the Draft Bowl, the Giants, Panthers, Germany game. So that should be pretty interesting. See if Bryce Young can continue rolling. And but they're doing what they should do. Sell some pieces, get more draft capital. You lost big on that Bryce Young trade to the Bears. So keep stacking up capital, maybe get some more pieces, younger pieces around Bryce Young, and keep it pushing with him.
Yeah. I mean, look, it doesn't look like he's a bad quarterback by any means. So I mean, he's putting the ball on the money. He's making all the throws. He's throwing deep balls to the outside. 15 yards downfield. He's staying in the pocket, going through his progressions, hitting people over the middle of the field. So he has good film at this point, or he had good film in his game. I know some people might just be out on him, but you never know. You know what I mean? If he got his mind right and he got his mind together, he could still be that player that everybody was hoping for.
Yeah, rooting for you, Bryce. All right, Giants, Commanders. This is my team. Not much to really say about this one for me. I feel like, and I might be a conspiracy theorist, but like it just feels like Daboll is so smart that he's finding creative ways to put the Giants in a position to lose games, because they were down 14 points and they scored a touchdown and they went for two for some reason. I don't really get the logic behind it. Like the only thing I could think of is, if we miss this, we're in a better position to lose, because I think we're like 0-5 or 0-6 on 2-point conversions this year. But like, I mean, I know
the reason behind it, like the analytical reason behind it, is because, okay, if you do miss it, you got to go for two again. And the law of averages says that if you miss one, you might get the second one.
You're down 14, bro. So it's like I don't see that often enough for it to be like, yeah, this is a smart analytical play.
But it's just that's like the reasoning for it. The reasoning. Everybody can have their opinion on that situation, but that is the quote unquote coach's reasoning for doing that.
But that's what I'm saying though, because he could, in terms of coach speak, and he gets asked about it at the presser, that's the perfect thing to say. But in the back of his mind, he goes back and talks to his staff, and it's like, that was a good one, right? Blame the analytics. We getting our quarterback this year. That's how I feel about it. Commanders fans in my ass. I don't care.
You do care though.
I don't.
You do care. You were ranting in the group chat.
My emotions were all over the place, bro. I was sweating so hard, in that overtime Titans Patriots game, I had to go shower, nigga. I had to go shower. I come back, I'm happy. This nigga's like, oh well, you know, if I was a Giants fan, I'd be pressed on betting too. I'm like, all right, now I'm about to get you, boy. Because weren't you the one that said you weren't expecting to beat the Ravens a couple weeks ago like a pussy? Now you over here celebrating this shit. The Giants own y'all niggas in general, bro.
But if that's the
No.
situation,
Let
if
me
that's the
finish, man.
situation,
No,
why
man.
are
Let me
you?
let
Hey,
me
that's what I'm
finish, man.
saying.
Let me finish, man. Because Daniel Jones still has a great record against y'all. He didn't play at all against y'all last year, and DeVito and Tyrod Taylor gave y'all the beats. Nigga, Tyrod's not even on the roster no more. Tommy DeVito's our third string. So, all right, you have your little victory lap.
I was
Let's see
about
how
to say,
y'all do
bro,
for the rest of the
they ain't worried
season,
about
man.
none of that shit right now. They turned up right now. It's a parade in their city right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's a parade, but when you're playing the Ravens, oh well, I didn't expect to win anyway. Head ass.
Hey,
Fuck.
look,
What type of bullshit is
about
that?
none of that, but you know what I'm
Man,
saying? Again,
you read that in the group chat, man. But
no,
still,
I'm talking about just like the Giants in general. I mean, I watched a podcast, and it was literally called "Fixing the Giants," just trying to get a better understanding of everything that y'all was going through. But basically, I mean, what a lot of people were alluding to is like, yeah, they were showing love to this class, to this particular class, but they were like, but the three classes before that one, they were talking about how those were a little questionable. You know, they were talking about how like you guys do got some good, like y'all did add some good players, but it's just unfortunate that you know at the same time you also lost a good amount of very very good players, and you know what I mean. And they was just kind of talking about Dayball, like should he keep on keeping his chance, even talking about the GM who should go, this, that, and other thing, if any of them should go, and like who y'all should pick in the first 3 rounds of this draft coming up. And I mean, a lot of it makes sense. Like they weren't hating on y'all or nothing like that. It's just kind of like, yo, you know your plan. You know what I mean? And if you know your plan and if y'all are sticking to it, all right, let's see what's good. But until the meet, like in between time, in the meantime, yeah, people gonna get at you if they can. You know what I mean? That's just how the shit go.
yeah. Overall, we need a quarterback. Dayball and our GM Joe Shane, they're a joint package. They amazing draft class. We fleeced the Panthers for Brian Burns. I think we made good moves. Yeah, we let go of Saquon. Once again, we're the only team that gets shit for letting go of their running back. But hey, whatever. Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens. Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens for $8 million. You think we want to keep Saquon for $8 million? Like, come on, man. But anyway, Tyrone Tracy has like 300-yard games this year, and the season's like halfway through. So, the core of this team, at the end of the day, what happened with the Texans? What were the Texans before C.J. Stroud get there? Did Nico Collins come in the same year as C.J. Stroud? No. With Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry was there, modern day D-Hop, had been getting balls from like 7 different quarterbacks. You get Jaden Daniels in there, you make a couple roster moves, you make a surge. So at the end of the day, I think up top, they're thinking, look, we're going to give these guys a chance to get their quarterback because at the end of the day, we've had Daniel Jones since 2019. I mean, that's pre-COVID, like,
right.
You know what I mean? And
They
that's
spoke
not
on
their
that.
regime.
They said that might not even have been on the GM or the head coach. That might have been something that the owner wanted to do. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. The people that
But I've been telling you
the
that.
people,
I've been telling you that.
But what I'm saying is the people that I would listen to, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not that's blow hanging fruit, the Saquon shit. They're going to say the Saquon shit because y'all are 2-7. So, but like at the end of the day, you supposed to be a football knowing guy. You know what I'm saying? You know how much. What's more important? A cat that got 100-yard games that getting paid $860,000 a year, or a cat that's going crazy doing his thing, but he's getting paid 12 mil. And y'all not even in that space. Like y'all aren't in y'all aren't in a space for Saquon to go crazy like that. How many games is that really? Y'all are maybe what, 3? 3-6. If
Yeah,
y'all Saquon four
it
and
keeps us
so
in no man's land because we're
right.
paying
So you
you
won that.
and
You
yeah.
won that.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. It's just funny because like you said, Tyrone Tracy probably getting 800K a year, and he's a fantasy darling. If you listen to any fantasy, they love Tyrone Tracy. But those same people will be like, "Damn, why'd y'all let go of Saquon? Man, eat a dick."
Because we know
Anyway,
what we're doing. That's what you say, because we know what we're doing. We know
hey
what we're
man,
doing. You know what I mean?
I've been screaming that. I had somebody on Twitter.
But you shouldn't have to scream it, bro. Scream it.
Hold on. This is my point. I had somebody on Twitter be like, "Oh well, y'all let go of Saquon." I'm like, "Well, Tyrone Tracy's a 5th-round pick. He's giving us great production." He was like, "Well, y'all probably going to let him walk when it's time to pay him." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Well,
we are.
if we could get similar production in the same round, let him go. I don't care. Like I don't care." So it's just funny.
Right.
It's just funny, but we
Yeah,
don't
you
gotta
know what I
talk
mean?
about this shit too
Yeah,
crazy.
you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just that when it comes to that, like again, bro, like I told you last week, it comes with losing. I'm a Cowboys fan, bro. They try to get at us for everything. But the Derrick Henry thing, it's never made me upset. It's never made me outraged because my team, I know what they did. I know what they did. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I know what they did. And it's like, now we losing, you got to eat that crow. And it's eating up Jerry, but it don't eat me up. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't the one that made the motherfucking decision.
Yeah. How do you feel about last thing on the Commanders? How do you feel about the Marshawn Lattimore pickup?
I mean, I think it's a good pickup. They had the assets for it. They feel like they have the season for them to make a move like that. So yeah, I mean, they want to play like I know what Dan Quinn wants to do. He wants to play cover 1 and 3 cover 1, and he wants to play 3 cover 3, cover 1 and cover 3. But mainly he wants to play cover 1. And they might not have the dogs, or maybe they had some solid cats, but now you get to push the depth chart down a little bit, and you got Marshawn Lattimore as your CB1. Now you can do that. Now you can blitz a little bit more. Now you're not as scared to leave somebody on the island and send a blitz on 3rd and long, and you don't have to help out and use 2 high safeties if you don't want to do that. So yeah, I think it does a lot for their football team, and I think they're in a position in terms of the capital that they have to make the trade. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good trade for them. It's an A+ move.
Yeah, I like the move a lot for them too. I just think their new management, you gotta give it up for them. We get it, the Commanders, for being more like front runners. You see me as a Giants fan, I'm gonna keep talking shit. I'm gonna keep talking shit every week, and then when we win, I'm gonna know I was there for them. I didn't abandon my team when they were down bad, and it feels a lot better that way, Commanders fans. But shout out to the moves y'all made after getting rid of Dan Snyder. I always like the Austin Eckler move. I think he still has juice. I think it's a great lightning thunder combo. It's one of my favorite things to see from an NFL backfield.
They just have like 3 different backs. Like the back that ended up scoring this week, he wouldn't.
Well, I think Brian Robinson was taken out the game. I think he got hurt. So
no, he was inactive.
Oh, he was inactive? I thought he played like in the first quarter. I'm tripping.
Yeah, he didn't even play. I'm not
but hey, even Eckler got his ass a goal line touchdown. So and Dan Quinn is coaching that defense up well. They were kind of lackluster in the beginning of the year, but he's getting them together. You have a new weapon there in terms of Marshawn Lattimore. You brought in Bobby Wagner. You brought in Jeremy Chin. I know some Commanders fans that I know more about their roster moves than they do. I was giving y'all props, but we move. Yeah, so Raiders Bengals. This is one that you called correctly. I was disagreeing with you in terms of the logic, but at the same time, I didn't bet it. I took the over in this game, but yeah, the Raiders, they kind of look the same every week. It feels like every week they have like a 10-point lead. And I'm about to start watching their games, and if they're up, I'm taking the other team, their spread money or money line if they happen to be plus money, because
they don't be plus money.
Even if they're up 10-0, it's still
Yeah,
not.
they don't be. Yeah,
You've been peeping that?
yeah. But the books know, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's if you can get you know what I'm saying, get something, you can slip something by the books, but that's you really really being sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like the books for they be good. They are. It's a reason that there's so many lights in Vegas. You know.
Right, right, and they're going to add more lights. It's football. Football is bigger than ever. But yeah, man, the Bengals. It's tough, man, because this is why the NFL is so great. Every game is just so vital to your season, and I'm gonna keep saying this every week. That Patriots loss is going to come back to haunt them. They'd be in a lot better place if they just took care of business week one. But this is a game they just needed to come in and dominate. That's what they did. Joe Burrow with 5 tutties, no T Higgins, and you even said it. You were like, "Yo, this is going to be a Chase and Gesicki game." Gesicki goes crazy. Not going to lie. Anytime T Higgins is out, I might have to snipe Gesicki as a streamer because he'd be doing this thing in relief. T Higgins being the number 2 option, but
You might
they
not be
handle
able to get
business.
him now though. You might not be, but you know what I mean. The box score watchers is not. They not going.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick him up and just keep him there.
Yeah,
But
and hold on to him.
But you know, it's always worth a shot though. It's always worth a shot.
Facts. But yeah, not much to really. Oh, and the Bears traded Khalil Herbert over there. So
yeah. So I was about to get in. I was about to get into the running back situation. You know what I mean? Kind of on the opposite side of, I guess, the narrative that you're tired of dealing with or whatever. You know, the reason why some of these organizations and franchises don't lose no sleep over losing a running back is because, you know, people could argue that Joe Mixon maybe had a year or two of juice left, but Bengals let him walk and they get Zach Moss for $4 million, and they had Chase Brown on their team. Chase Brown, 27 carries, 120 yards, longer 21 yards. You know what I mean? And he's getting paid pennies. So, like, look, bro, another case of let the running back walk.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's my thing. I thought this was like collectively as NFL fans, we all knew this. I don't see the Bengals getting shit for letting Joe Mixon walk. You have Chase Brown doing this thing, getting paid nothing. But when it comes to the Giants, damn, y'all really should have kept
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, if y'all were 4-5, it wouldn't be. It's just because they don't know what to say about y'all, and y'all are losing. So it's like we're going to go to the easiest thing to say. Like that's all it is. That really is all it is.
You know what it is too? They're bored of shitting on Daniel Jones. It's like that's too low hanging of fruit. So
right,
it's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the next thing to say. It's not like these cats are sitting here watching New York Giant film. And that's not like trying to dig at you. It's just the people that you're listening to talk. These cats don't watch New York Giant football. You know what I mean? So it's like, man. I see the box. I see Saquon doing tricks out there on the football field. You know what I mean? Literally doing SSX tricky 360s, jumps and all kinds of hurdles and shit. So it's like, I can't believe they let this guy go. But it's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to.
Like, do we have the Eagles O-line? Do we have their roster? Do we have their
that's why you got
outlook?
Yeah, that's why I mean. Just kind of. And then as for
that's why I be trying to tell you. It's like you be like, yo, because even last week when you were talking about how the Falcons fans was traveling in waves from all over the country, it's like, bro, you know what I mean? I know how it feels to have these unfair narratives, and we're going to get to somebody that you were talking about later. His name rhymes with glove, but so, but
here. I mean, we got to give it to Brock Bowers. I'm so sad because this is the Brock. This is what Brock. This is supposed to be Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers deserves the 5 reception, 100-yard, 2 TD game. He deserves it.
Who did the Bengals get in the first round again?
Well, the Raiders drafted before the Bengals, and they drafted Brock, but they drafted a left tackle.
Amarius Mims.
Yeah. That was just, oh my gosh. I knew he wasn't going to make it there, but that was my dream. That was my dream
You
scenario.
gotta
So,
you gotta blame you gotta blame the Falcons because like Bowers, yeah, he still might have not made it to the Bengals, but
he was, they,
that
St. Louis,
completely threw the
yeah.
draft on its head.
But
That
St. Louis
move,
said they were going to draft him if he
St.
was there.
Louis. I mean,
Yeah. The
you
Rams
mean
or
the
LA. The
Rams?
Rams. Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah.
are the old head showing St. Louis.
Right.
What y'all know about that?
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, it's just ironic to see that Mike Gesicki go for that good of a game, and ironically, it's against the Raiders, Mark Bowers and the
Right,
Raiders, where it was like
right.
that was my
You're
dream
you're like
scenario for him.
you're like if that was Bowers, then he might have had 10 catches for 180 and 2 tutties.
Bro, he'd be all pro. He might still be an all pro, but like hands down, if
I'm
he
not
was on
going.
Cincinnati, he'd be an all pro.
Hey, bro, you talked about it so much that like I was so sold on it too. I really wish he went there because like then you don't feel bad about letting T Higgins go, and then you have not only do you have a great second weapon for Joe Burrow along with Jamar Chase, but he's a decent blocker too because
Right. I mean, it
Gasecki
just
not
yeah.
blocking a lick.
Right, which is why they needed Buddy, who all or whatever who tore his ACL, which is unfortunate. But yeah, man, it was just ironic, just the irony in that NFL, and the football guys, man. It's just they do what they do.
Right.
All right, we're back again. You know, Drake May with 300 all-purpose yards, but not necessarily the best day throwing the football. It kind of comes with the territory. Um, the Titans, Tony Pollard. I mean, hey, they did enough to pull it out. It looks like he's had a touchdown in the past 4 games.
Who Westbrook or
McKinney,
Keenan?
Westbrook McKinney. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
that's something. Yeah, that's something to watch out for. It seems like him and Rudolph got a nice little rapport out there with obviously DeAndre Hopkins playing for the Chiefs now. He's slid into that wide receiver 2 spot, and I mean he's not doing anything particularly sexy or spectacular, but I mean shit, that's 16 points right there for a fantasy football team. So that's something to look
Speaking,
for.
yeah,
Something to
and speaking of teams just letting players go, I mean, just imagine. Obviously, you can't just having a franchise quarterback easier than it sounds, right? Everybody wants a top 5 quarterback, but there can only be like 5 of them. But like, imagine this team with AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and just some more pieces along with this defense.
I mean,
It's
that's
just
not
kind
this
of
regime that
yeah,
let go of
I
the
know.
AJ Brown situation, but I mean, in regards to Derrick Henry, no, that was the owner doing him a service. That's what I'm saying. All these
No.
situations are different.
I'm off the whole like. For the Titans, it makes a lot of sense to me,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
with bringing in Tony Pollard, and he's been doing well for him. Speaking of Tony Pollard, I mean, how much did he get paid? Was that out of your
He got
price
paid.
range? Would
No,
you
I mean, he got
wanted to
paid to
bring him
go
back?
on. He got paid to go on rate. I just think that we like. I'll explain it what's really going on in Dallas once we get to
Once we get to Dallas,
once we get to Dallas.
all right,
But long story short is just they made a decision that they were not going to allocate resources to the running back position.
He's
You know what I'm saying?
getting about
You
7 mil.
yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to pay that for Tony Pollard.
I mean,
To be
that was the
honest.
going rate. I think Swift got around the same amount too. So I think Swift, Derrick Henry, and Tony Pollard, and maybe one other back got like 8 mil, and then even Aaron
One
Jones
of
got
those.
like 3 mil.
You said Aaron Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. Oh, Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs got it's like 8 mil annually, but I think he's getting paid like 12 mil. The first 2 years are guaranteed 12 mil.
Okay, so Aaron Jones, his guaranteed salary is 3 mil, 4 million signing bonus. So yeah, I feel like Aaron Jones took like a fuck you contract going to a division rival for the cheap.
I mean, he was injured majority of last year, and he's an older back. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel you, but I like Aaron Jones' game. His receiving ability. He's going to continue to go crazy for him. So
as
I
long as he's
mean,
healthy. Is you just we can't account for that aspect of the game. You know what I mean?
yeah. He has been in and out of that lineup there, and the Packers just opted for a younger back with less of an injury history, and I think they're happy with what they got.
Right, right. But it's clear that they value the position because they paid him the going rate.
Right.
So it's just
Oh,
sometimes you said
um, last thing on the Patriots. Like I said, this was the last leg of my parlay. Took the under. I swear to God to you, bro, I might have had a heart attack if the quarterback that I wanted cost me that bread, bro. I was, you know what I was doing that last play when he threw that pick? I was curled up in a ball in my couch, bro. I was just like, this nigga's just too dirty. He's gonna win the game, ain't he? He's gonna throw a touchdown here. Because that last play to Ramondre Stevenson, when you scrambling all over the play, that little Madden scramble, just throws it up while he's getting tackled. I'm like, bro, that's supposed to be our guy.
and people don't realize that, but I mean, you're right. Yeah, y'all were willing to move up to 3. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, y'all were at 6, so that was a little hard for y'all to do. But yeah, y'all was trying to move up to 3 for y'all to get him. And people don't know this about Drake May, but Drake May, you know what I mean? He can run the ball as well as Caleb, and you know what I mean. These, I mean, I don't want to say Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels probably got a little bit more shake, but like he's like a Justin Herbert. He has Bo Nix in a way where he is 6'4", 225 pounds. Like
It's the skin color discrimination. You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
a sneaky athlete. If he was
right.
if he was dark skinned, that'd probably be
He'd be
talked about
considered
more
a
than
dual
his
threat
game.
quarterback.
Yeah.
He'd be just be called a dual threat quarterback. But you know, I mean, 95 yards rushing is I mean that got him over the 300 all-purpose yards for his team, and they lost in overtime because he threw an interception. But I mean, they're not mad at what he's doing. Me personally, at this point, I'm like, all right, buddy, few more games and we're done for this year. Like we're done until we get you some tackles. Because one thing it does look like is he is starting to make it a habit that he don't trust his line. I'm getting out of here.
Right.
And right now that's fine, but that's going to be a habit he's going to have to break once he actually has some weapons downfield and has some protection, you know what I mean, at the line of scrimmage for him.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, if you're a Patriots fan, the last thing you want is for the season to be lost and then he like tears his Achilles or something because he just keeps doing that. And he can do it, but the more and more you do that, you know, the risk factor
Why take the
goes up.
hits? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? At this point, because it's like he's getting crushed already. Like he's out there, he's getting crushed, and he can take it. Like I said, he's 220 something pounds, but it's like, all right, we don't want, you know what I mean? At a certain point, there's only a certain amount of hits until these cats do start seeing ghosts. You know what I mean? And you've seen even quarterbacks that are probably considered better than him. They look great. They look all world when they got their O line intact. But the second one lineman goes, their left tackle goes, you know what I mean? It gets a little shaky for them. The second one of their tackles goes and the interior lineman goes, it's like all the shit. You know, so it's just quarterback's a delicate position. So, but it is working out really really well for Drake May. He looks like he's deserving of that 3rd overall pick, and you know I can understand why Giants fans would be a little bummed out that you weren't able to get that one.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. And ironically, you know, two of the teams that we beat last year that had those picks, we beat the Patriots and we beat the Commanders twice. Number 2 and number 3 right there got their guys. They look good, but hey, it's the way the cookie crumbles, man. But let's all right, man. Speaking of big spreads, you know, I gave you props for the Bengals Raiders pick, but this is one where I was on the opposite side once again. I thought the Ravens were gonna crush them. They damn near hit the over by themselves. To be
Yeah,
honest. So, and I just felt like the football gods were going to be like, "Yo, Sean Payton, hold your horses, bruh. You know the teams you've been playing. You kind of popping your shit off. Here, take the Ravens off a loss to the Browns, and you know, make sure your guys prevent that blowout. All right."
Yeah, well, they let him down. So yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. He knew that though. He understood that. Like he knew what he was saying. He's like, look, we're not always going to play the Panthers. So, when we able to kick somebody while we down, we gonna do it. He admitted to saying it. He admitted to that is how he feel. If I can kick a motherfucker while he down, I'm kicking him. All right. And because you know what? I feel like if I was down, they're gonna kick me too. And next week, that's what happens. That's how the game goes. You know what I mean? This Smack City spot, Lamar, simple, got in, got out, only 3 incompletions. I mean, not bad for a running back. And Derrick Henry doing his thing.
Very quarterbacky of him.
Right. They didn't need, and then in these games where they don't, which is, it's nice to see Zay Flowers do his thing. But again, when it comes to, I don't even see him on here, but when it comes to Deontay Johnson, it's like, we kind of touched on this a little bit. They didn't get Deontay Johnson to be wide receiver 1. They didn't get Deontay Johnson because they felt like they needed more firepower in terms of like their regular offense. They got him for when they got him for when they have to go into those shootouts. And, they were able to take care of this between Lamar's arm, giving it to Zay Flowers, him getting 2 touchdowns, and Derrick Henry on the ground. When you're smacking, when there's blowouts like that, you're probably not going to really get much from Deontay Johnson, honestly. Now if it's a game where they're battling and they're going back and forth, maybe against like a Cincinnati or later on when they're going to play I was about to say when they got to play Baltimore. Now that might be a possible time where Deontay Johnson's going to have to be incorporated because they're not going to let the Ravens bully them. But on these days where Ravens decide that they're going to be the bullies, you're just not going to get that much production from the wide receivers. You're lucky if you get another game like this from even Zay Flowers, but definitely probably not getting anything for Deontay Johnson in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I still like the pickup. I like you said, I think he's definitely going to be a factor later. I just like how their offense is constructed. You got Derrick Henry getting 23 carries. Hey, Justice Hill got 5, and he had the second most yards in the passing game. And, it's a nice weapon to have. Besides that, in terms of the trade deadline, they did grab Tre'Davious White. I think they did like a 7th-round pick swap. So,
yeah, I don't
know. Sometimes when these guys get traded, they just have new life to them. But we'll see if that is.
I mean, that Baltimore Ravens defense was already struggling, but so they just were like, well, he can't be no worse than what we already have on here. You know what I mean? So why not for a 7th, which is what I respect. I mean, they just took flyers out on players, Deontay for a conditional 6. Why not? Why not? We trying to make a Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? Like you said, was it Tre'Davious Ward? I mean, Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White, yeah.
Tre'Davious White. Like, yeah, maybe right now he's not himself, but maybe for one game in the playoffs against D-Hop, when you got to go against the Chiefs, he decides he's going to turn up today.
Right. And that's why key impact play. It's like, hey.
Right, and that's why you do that. That's why you get players at the deadline when you're trying to go for it. And if it doesn't work out, they gave up a 7th, bro.
I think they swapped 2026 7th and a 2027 7th. So it was kind of like a little swap.
So it was, here you go. You can have him, bro. We were going to release his ass anyway. You can have him. You know what I mean? That was, you know what I'm saying? That was essentially what that is. And again, that's good GMing. That's roster building 24/7, 365 right there. That's
it sounds. I feel like I know where that's coming from.
I mean, is that wrong? Like that assessment of the Baltimore Ravens and how they're.
No, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I feel like you're taking shots at your squad.
No, I mean, there's a bunch of squads that don't roster build 24/7, 365. My squad so happens to be one of them, yes. But however, you know what I mean? Like the Ravens literally got two players that they really don't even necessarily need right now. But it's like, yo, when we need you, at least we got you. At least we know you in our back pocket.
Or if somebody goes down, all right, you're next up.
Depth at the position. I mean, it's the trade deadline. So this is the actual only time you're going to be able to make these acquisitions outside of somebody who's already a free agent.
Right. Bills, Dolphins. This is a pick that I had, didn't hit for me. I had the over and Smack City for the over, but I had them covering that 6. Didn't happen. But yeah, the Bills handled business. I did that little way too early predictions. I honestly think they're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC unless the Chiefs just keep doing their little voodoo magic. I feel like the Chiefs are just kind of due to drop one of these games. I mean, we'll get to the Chiefs Bucks game.
They have to deal with they got to deal. Who else is Ravens?
Yeah.
The Ravens are 5-6-3.
Let's just get the actual AFC standings. The Ravens are 6-3, but the Chargers are 5-3. The Steelers are 6-2, and the Texans are 6-3.
Okay,
which is kind of crazy. The Texans feel like a 500 team.
Now they do.
Yeah, now, but like I just don't even remember them rattling off that many wins for some reason. I don't know.
Hey, because the football season's long, man. Football season
not long enough, man.
So, but yeah, I mean, maybe again, maybe the Bills can. I just see, they already lost a tiebreaker to the Ravens, so if they're tied at the end of the season, that would go to the Ravens.
Well, don't forget that they have the Chiefs coming up in like a week or two, so that's going to be major. I think I just predicted especially if the Chiefs are continuing to roll. I feel like this is a spot where the Bills gotta punch them in the mouth real quick.
I think the Chiefs lose by the time they go up against the Bills. They want to let one. They want to lose. I mean, they've been giving teams opportunities to beat them, and but whether it's the coaches or the refs or just decision making altogether, they're like, all right, y'all gonna give us the dub. We gonna give you. You know what I mean? We gonna take it. I'm sorry, bro. You get down to the 1. First of all, you're down at the 1. 29 seconds left on the clock. You immediately call a timeout. Why?
Right. We'll get to that game. We'll get to that game.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're going to lose by then, and if the Bills beat them, then the Chiefs. That's 2 losses for them. I just think they keep rolling. I think the Chiefs.
So you think they only? So you think how many losses do you think the Bills end up with? Because that's the real question here. Because you're saying that the Bills are going to have less losses than the Chiefs and also the Ravens.
I think I wish I just had that up, but damn. Yeah, I went through every game for those predictions, but I'm looking at these games. I guess I'm really high on the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen is my guy, but I think I had them winning. I think I had them losing maybe one more game, and then the Chiefs losing like a couple more. Because the Chiefs, they know how to win, but like in that spot, like if there's Mike Evans, do the Chiefs come out with that dub?
Probably. Bro, there's no player in the NFL that I think that the Chiefs don't miraculously find a way to escape to a W at this. Like, I mean, at this point, bro, it's like, okay, they just know how to win. You have 4 points. Okay, we're going to get 7. Like, again, like you said, we're not rapping about the Chiefs right now, but when we get there, we can get into it. But yeah, I mean, again, this is a good win. It kind of unfortunate for Tua and the Dolphins. They really they fought. I mean, they gave it their all. Devin A-Chain is a superstar in the making. Tyreek Hill 4 receptions for 80 yards. He got there. I think I had his under at 79.5 and lost by one yard. But
damn, Vegas got you out the way with that one. That's tough. That is tough.
That's football, but it's how it goes. If you don't want to be in the field, don't bet. But Ray Davis out here with a crazy game. He had like a 60-yard run. I mean, 60-yard catch after yards after the catch, run for a touchdown. Uh, Obviously, at this point, if he's not picked up in your leagues, like at least kind of a little goofy, like he's at least the number one backup. For sure if anything happens to James Cook, Ray Davis is going to be playing, and it looks like just all based off of the plays that he's making with the limited opportunities that he has, it would be a wise idea for them to incorporate him into the offense anyway, especially one that doesn't mind being run heavy. So I would just and the colder it gets, I think that the more Ray
It's going to be
Davis is
hard
going
to
to be,
tackle.
yeah, the more Ray Davis is going to be a good guy to have on your roster, in real football and also in fantasy. Khalil Secure, again, I mean, this is just what I believe. He's the security blanket. Dante Kincaid did his thing this week, but I think third down, third and long, third and short, second and 8. I think they're going to find a way to get the ball to Khalil Shakur if it's in the air.
Don't forget Amari Cooper didn't play this game, so
Right.
I wonder what this game looks like with him. But it just what this game kind of reminded me is like, yo, even though Stephon Diggs was their clear cut wide receiver one, he's a dog for a while. I think in terms of the weapons that they have right now, this is like the best I've seen the Bills offensively, and a lot of that has to do with this improved run game. And now you have two really good backs, so one that's going to be tough to tackle in the winter as it starts to get colder. And where Buffalo plays, they play in Buffalo. So
yeah, by choice. They play outside by choice. But yeah, so even when Amari gets back, I think Amari is going to be that outside X wide receiver, playing on the outside. I think Khalil Shakur, no matter what goes on, even with Keon Coleman being out, I just don't think his role is changing. He's the move around motion wide receiver. He's the slot. He's in the slot, and you know what I mean. He's the guy who's getting the bubble. He's catching the screens.
it's a great security blanket for sure.
Yeah. So he's doing his thing. Definitely on pace for 1,000 yards this year. Tyler Bass smacking one for 61 yards to get him out the way. Kickers matter. Shout out.
Yeah, but big, I've kind of turned around on Tua. I don't like doubling, tripling down on bad takes. Out of all the quarterbacks that got paid recently, between Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get to that disaster, but Trevor Lawrence and a couple of these guys, I like the heart. Jordan Love, yeah, I like the heart that Tua shows. I mean, I'm surprised he's still out there scrambling. Like, it's really not in his head. He said no guardian cap. I'm going to still scramble, no problem. So really rooting for the Dolphins and Tua. But for me, if I'm a Dolphins fan, obviously not in the first round, but y'all need a better contingency plan with the quarterback position, because if Tua happens to go down, let's say it's not even a concussion, but something else, you need to be able to push out something better than Huntley and Tim Boyle.
I mean, bro, that's 95% of the NFL teams.
It feels like, yeah, but like that little lull completely destroyed their season. I mean,
everybody's season's over with. You lose your starter. You know what I mean? That's just.
But we have plenty of examples where that's just not the case. Look at y'all a couple years back with Cooper Rush. He kept y'all afloat, and then look at Jordan Love. He's been in and out of the roster. Malik Willis is.
That's all. That's the coach. That is the coach. That is.
And I guess that brings us back to the question: what's the temperature check on Mike McDaniel?
Right. I mean, again, he paid him for a reason.
A little overrated.
He paid. No, I think he just has been as honest as he possibly could be.
You said he's been what?
As honest as he could possibly be.
What do you mean honest?
I need Tua. Pay him.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not talking about in terms of him getting paid, but Tua goes down and you can't manufacture any wins.
But I think that was what he was telling you with Tua getting paid. Hey, yo, I need Buddy to win.
But that gets paid. He goes down. Cooper Rush goes out there and does his thing, for example.
Well, we also had a phenomenal defense. We also had, you know what I mean? We had a lot more going on outside of Dak Prescott. Wasn't the only thing winning us football games at that time. Micah Parsons was getting sack fumbles and
That's a
Trayvon
good point. Yeah,
Diggs and
y'all defense was going crazy.
you know what I'm saying? Like the defense was doing the heavy lifting, and Cooper Rush just needed to stay out the way. Respectfully, you know what I mean? And then we had a gotta give it. We had a better offensive coordinator. So it was like, okay, the defense is doing this for me. Bet I can put us in this position. And yeah, Cooper Rush also has been around our offense for close to like 5 or 6 years at that time. So if he gets a play, he can call out of a play. Yo, they blitzing. Hey, we're running at the blitz. He can call audibles at the line of scrimmage. How many backup quarterbacks right now know the offense like that to where they can get out of plays and get into the right one?
Malik Willis, Joe
Really,
Flacco.
you think so? I don't think Malik Willis is getting out of plays. I think he's calling.
He's getting out there with dubs though.
No. Right. Like I'm
He's getting the
saying,
ball to his weapons though.
but right. And what I'm saying is that one, Malik Willis was left for dead, and Green Bay took the opportunity to be prepared at quarterback, which is why I said 90% of the teams. 90%.
Well, they need to become part of that 10% because like the weapons that they have between Hill, Waddle, HN, even Mostert, Jonnu Smith can make some splash plays here and there.
Even the running backs. I mean, they had the weapons, and yeah, this is definitely a stain on Mike McDaniels and his brilliance. But usually when the quarterback goes down, your season's over. It's always kind of been the rules.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else on that game? Did they make any moves? Any of those teams make any moves? Trade deadline shit?
No, the Bills stayed pat this year. Bills stayed pat, and I think
besides
just
besides the Amari Cooper thing.
Right. They already made their move. They made their move 2 weeks ago. But yeah, man. I mean, Cowboys versus Falcons. This pretty much went the way that I predicted. You know what I mean? So, not surprised there. Teams just, you got to call it how you see it. Don't matter if you like the motherfuckers. You got to call it how you see it. And teams just not prepared. They don't pay attention to details. They don't do much. You know what I mean? Like Rico Dowdle averaging 6 yards a carry. Should probably make him the starting running back. But whatever. We're week 10 into the year, and this is what we're dealing with. Finally, we're able to get Jake Ferguson in the open field. But again, before we even say hike, we got penalties. So we had like 5 or 6 pre-snap penalties. You're not winning no games with that. And offensive line isn't playing well. These motherfuckers ain't had no sacks, no back-to-back sacks the entire year. Second drive of the game, back-to-back sacks. So, I mean, Cowboys, unfortunately, got a full season to play still, but we're a top-heavy football team. And we lost Micah, you lost Deron Bland, and you got backups out there. It just don't look as good. So this is what you get. Smack City spot. Score doesn't necessarily dictate how the game was played. Bijan Robinson, I mean, shoot, he balled on us. I mean, anything you want. Again, over 20 carries this time. And Tyler Algier gets into the end zone. They lose wide receiver. Wide receiver down, no problem. Darnell Mooney, go ahead and get you 88 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? So right now, Dallas Cowboys seems as if they're walking stat game. Doesn't look like they're playing with any type of heart. Doesn't look like the offensive coordinator knows what he's got doing. It doesn't like the defensive coordinator has his players' ears. So this is the product that produces. A bad football team. Simple as that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that, I mean, on the other side of it though, we were talking about how you wanted Dak to make some of those plays that like Brock Purdy will make to extend plays and extend drives, and it seems like he was doing that a lot more in this game. That's a positive takeaway. But yeah, at the end of the day, we've been talking about this. Wins solve everything. You guys went 12-5 3 years in a row. So the roster moves Jerry Jones. He wasn't like a highlighted topic of discussion, but it seems like that's getting hard to overcome. It feels like, and this is how it just looked for
Wait.
the past.
You don't think the roster moves this season was a topic of discussion?
No. I'm definitely getting to that. I'm talking about Jerry Jones as just a distraction and a character
Oh,
to
right, because
to overcome
yeah. Because
type thing.
they never
Because
right.
so yeah, this past year, like, it's been confusing me. I kind of gave up on trying to understand it, but my final takeaway, and this is just my stamp, is that it just kind of feels like Jerry Jones or whoever else is over there is like they're either overthink. It's either a combination of overthinking it or just acting like you're just the smartest in the room and just not making the clear cut decisions here of improving your roster. I mean, the Ravens, they were very close to making pushing it to the Super Bowl, and they didn't get complacent. They're like, we're going to continue getting better, continue making moves to keep pushing us forward. And it's just confusing me. It just feels like a
Right.
lot of wasted potential here.
And so, I had to, again, this is where you have to be in the weeds as a diehard Cowboy fan to understand what is going on and to understand what is being done here.
Give you the
Okay,
floor.
the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys got $20 million in cap space right now. They currently have $20 million in cap space. Now, you would think with that $20 million, why don't you go ahead and spend that and maximize this year's football season? Well, the reason for that is because the run was supposed to be last year. We were supposed to go on our run, maybe not to the Super Bowl, but at least to the second round of the playoffs, hopefully to the NFC East Championship game. We didn't even get out the goddamn first week. We got smacked the first week. That ruined and changed everything. Now, Jerry Jones should have fired Mike McCarthy after that football game because of the way our football team was prepared. However, he doesn't because he's in contract for this year, for this season. Okay, now he goes ahead and he creates the headline after the game, little emotional. Obviously, Cowboy fans very, very upset, super emotional. And what does he say? We're going all in. Okay, now they hold on to the fact that he said those words, all in. You listen to what someone's feet do. You watch someone's feet. You never look at their mouth. You never watch their mouth. After that, what do we do when free agent comes through? We're quiet. We don't even call Derrick Henry. We don't even call him. Okay. And then after, what does he say? Oh, well, we can't make any moves because we haven't signed our guys, this, that, and the other thing. Right. You're correct. But why haven't we signed them? Parameters have always been in place because they purposely want to drag this out. They want to drag this out to keep their name in the media. He likes that part. He's a GM, but he's also a business owner. He likes when business is booming. So now, basically, the Dallas Cowboys are in a soft rebuild. But instead of coming out and telling his football team and telling his fans, hey, yo, I'm going to keep it a band with y'all this year, shorty. We setting this thing up to make our run after the 2024 season. What we trying to do with the money, we ain't spending it. We're going to extend CD, we're going to extend Dak, and we're going to set it up for our window to be, 2 years from now. With that $20 million I was telling you about, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pay that out to Zach Martin, who's going to retire this year, and we're going to pay that out to DeMarcus Lawrence, who's going to be done after this year with the Dallas Cowboys, but they have void years. So you have to pay out their void years. Okay, so we're going to pay out the void years of their contracts. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to draft some talent, okay, and we got some triggers with CeeDee Lamb and also Dak Prescott's contract. Boom, we press the trigger on him. Now we got $50 million free in cap space. We're going to use that money to go ahead and extend Micah. Now we got our quote unquote core in place, and then we're going to get a few draft picks. And now we're going to be prepared with our new head coach and our new roster. And now we're going to make a run. And now we're going to start our window. Okay, I understand that. So nothing that happens that I see makes me upset. The Derrick Henry thing don't eat me up, but it eats up Jerry Jones because he didn't think his product was going to be this bad. He wanted us to be competitive. 9-7, he would have been good with because he can promote 9-7 all the way throughout the season. You can promote, oh yeah, but we just got to get into the playoffs. We just got to get into the game. You know what I mean? We just got to get into the game. Well, then he sees the roster. He sees how bad we are compared to the teams that we're playing. He sees that even when we lose, it isn't something that you can explain. And now now he's going to ask questions on why did you let your roster be this bad? And instead of telling the truth, it's saying, hey, bro, it's because we're in a soft rebuild. I got some things I want to do. He goes out and he makes an ass of himself. And again, with the Ezekiel Elliott situation, we could have spent money on at least Aaron Jones, but it was clear that they didn't want, if they were going to select a running back, if they were going to pick an old running back, Jerry Jones was like, well, if I have to choose from all these old guys, I'm gonna just choose my guy for the low. And he chose the worst one. He chose the one that not even showing up to the to practice or film on time, to meetings on time, who's acting like a brat. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is his doing. But when he comes out and he has to explain it, he still talks about the love he has for Ezekiel Elliott, because it's true. He loves Ezekiel Elliott for what Ezekiel Elliott did for him in 2016 to 2018. That football player don't exist no more. He wants to believe that he does. What's the
infatuation with that though? Like, it's all
they won. They won. The infatuation is Emmitt Smith. That's his Emmitt Smith. CeeDee Lamb, Des Bryant, his Michael Irvin, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott, his Troy Aikman. He only sees things from the lens of 30 years ago. He only can see it from that lens. So when we get to a situation like this, and it's like, yo, you didn't throw no money at the D tackle situation, and you try to sell us on, well, Mozzie's got it. And it's like, yo, we're watching.
I think he's last. I think he's last on PFF at the position.
Right. And we do, you know what I mean? And I don't even think you understand. It's nothing to throw allocate. It's nothing to allocate some funds to nose tackle. It's nothing to get a D tackle, run stuff in D tackle. They're not that valuable. Who is valuable is one that can rush the passer, though. So you know what I mean? So it's just one of those situations where Cowboy fans, you know, they shouldn't be this surprised, but they are. But if you really, really were digging in the weeds and you were following the Vaches of the world and, you know, the Jeff Kavanaughs of the world, you would know this has been the plan the entire time. This is why he took all the way until the season started to sign CeeDee Lamb to a contract that was already in place for a month and a half. You know what I mean? And this is why it took all the way until the season to start, a day before the season to start, for Dak Prescott to get the money he was always destined to get. He wanted to stay in the news. He wanted us to be relevant. And have fun with that shit now.
Which is confusing because you guys are relevant anyway. I mean, look at my team. Look at the Giants. Like, how many primetime games we got?
But he don't look at it from a new lens of thinking. He doesn't understand this new age of media. That's why he popped off how he did. That's why he popped off when he got mad, talking about, so we can fire you and because he think it's 2005 and he got his hands in all this. He don't realize that everything's new. He don't even realize that he don't realize that I can watch every single CeeDee Lamb snap and go compare the CeeDee Lamb snaps to Justin Jefferson's snaps. And I can just filter out all the other part of the game and only watch their plays from all 22. He don't realize we got access to that. He don't realize any of the stats that we got and we know what's going on. He don't realize that we know how motion is beneficial for your football team. You know what I'm saying? So he's living in a way where he still believes he can convince his fans what the hell's going on. He don't realize that there's cats out here doing investigation work and letting the fans know what the actual
and that's is. Why he's blowing up about it, because it's like, you're not supposed to know that. Why are you even bringing this up?
Exactly.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? That's why, because he's like, well, how am I supposed to get players? One of the parts when he snapped, he said, well, how are we supposed to make the team better right now, huh? Bruh, the day after you said that, 2 wide receivers got traded. You know what I mean? We got.
But that's what confuses me, bro. Because then y'all, I mean, besides trading a fourth for Trey Lance, which he's your third string, so probably what you got, like, you traded him for a sixth or something. But Jonathan Mingo, it's like, that's the trade you make. You know what I mean? Like, what is up with that? Is Jonathan Mingo from Texas or something? Like,
they liked him because they liked him when he came out the draft. That's the reason they liked him when he came out the draft. They liked
Oh,
his
so he was
measurables,
high on your
and
board that
he was
year?
high on the board. Right, he was high on the board, and that's the thing. It's like, bro, did you even negotiate? That's what I'm saying. He might be losing it without even realizing it. He's showing his age because this is Jerry Jones. This Teflon Don, the real president of the United States, and you can't make a negotiation with the Carolina Panthers. You
Who
can't tell them,
everybody is
bro.
just who
You can't tell the
everybody's
Carolina
finessing.
Panthers. You can't tell the Carolina players, "Hey, yo, I'm throwing you this, and Jonathan Mingo, he coming with us now." Okay, all right, thanks, Mr. Jones. Have a good day.
That shit is wild because they got a worse package for Deontay Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but again, their reasoning is, oh, we need to trade up for a fourth. We can do that. Okay, well, why not just keep the fourth? The fourth, we had 2 fours when we drafted Dak Prescott. It was a bunch of running backs that got drafted in the 4th round. What's the big dude number 0 for the Jets? Allen.
Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen. He was drafted in the 4th round. Jalen Wright drafted in the 4th round. Both of them would be starters for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Even Tyrone Tracy, 5th round.
5th round. So you know what I mean? It's like you're that you traded away, but he had to because what did he say after the game? Oh, we got some help coming on the way. He got some help coming on the way. Come on, bro. That's not help. That's not help. But if that's what you want to believe, then all right. You know what I mean?
Now, knowing Jerry Jones, the psychology of Jerry Jones, 1st round, you guys are like a early in the early teens. I mean,
okay. Well, we're gonna be lower than that. We working on right now. I got dreams of Travis Hunter. But if we're being real,
hell no, you guys are not doing that,
bro. We might not lose. We might not win another game.
Bro. But you do realize that 2-7 right now, the Giants are slated at the 7th pick.
Okay, y'all getting Travis Hunter?
No, I'm not saying we're getting Travis Hunter. I just don't think you guys are going to be in a position to get Travis Hunter.
But all jokes aside, but all jokes aside, I know where this is going, and you're about to ask me about the buddy Ashton Gentry or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he's cool. He's cool. Don't get it twisted. But I've been watching college football the past few Saturdays, and every Saturday I see 6 or 7 backs, and I'm like, he could start for the Dallas Cowboys.
But my question when it comes to Jerry Jones, do you think? I mean, because I'm confused on him holding on to the Zeke thing because it's also like, well, this could be your new guy if you want a star back so bad. You know what I mean? Would he do that, or would he be like, nah, we don't need him? Or like,
no, he wouldn't. That's why he's so mad, because he wanted Derrick Henry. He personally probably was like, Jerry, we're not going to spend money on a running back. And to make him happy, he was like, all right, well, then I'm going to bring Zeke back. That was Ezekiel Elliott is the compromise. He's the
consolation prize.
But yeah, Jerry Jones wants to win running the ball. He wants a star running back because who was popular over the past 30 years? 30 years ago, the most popular person on the football team was the running back. Emmitt Smith is one of the most popular football jerseys that the Cowboys sell. And
all-time leading rusher.
Now,
NFL history.
What obviously we have needs everywhere. My whole thing is there is a 6'6", 350-pound D lineman pass rusher, interior lineman pass rusher in this draft. And if he's there and he's available and we draft the goddamn running back, bro, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. I mean, we need everything. But in a draft that is running back heavy, if they let him draft a runner, and I think this guy is going to probably be a game changer, but you don't got enough talent on your football team, on your roster. Your roster isn't talented enough for a game changer at running back. It's simply long story right now. Now in the 2nd round, go ahead, knock yourself out, bro. But in the 1st round, you need a blue chip, game-changing. We're never going to be able to find another one of these guys again. A Dexter Lawrence. This is the only way, because I remember you were talking about how Minnesota was trying to get Dex or whatever. This is the only way you can get Dex.
By the way, speaking of that, can you give him his flowers? Because you were talking kind of crazy.
I said I would love to have the player, and you said that was like disrespectful.
Bro, so, I could bring up the text. You said only one of these players is going for whatever draft capital
2-1.
Respectfully. Yeah,
Two
you
ones.
think Dex wouldn't go for 2-1s
Again, like
if
I
he was
said to you,
available?
like I tried to say to you, even when I was texting you, I'll take your guy out of context. Anybody that is requesting a trade right now and that gets traded during this part of the NFL season is not going for 2-1s. They're going for, and I said, let me make it Deron Payne and the other D tackle that they got over there in Washington for you to better understand where I
Jonathan
was coming
Allen.
from. Yeah, for you to better understand where I was coming from. I was talking about the value of the
So
position
were you
as
not
an all-pro good player.
were you not saying that Michael would go for 2-2s out of anybody and that's it?
I
Were you not
think
saying that?
yeah, I think that. I think that.
And so
And
you don't think him and Dex would go for the
I
same
don't
comp?
know. I mean, me personally, I don't really talk. That's why I don't rap about shit like this because it's like Micah's not requesting a trade. He's not getting traded. He's 24 years old. He's not getting traded.
What I
Your
expected you
boy,
to say in
your boy
response to
Dex.
that was, the conversation would have ended is like, yeah, them boys are idiots. That ain't not available. It's like, hey man, it's just, and I was like, man, what do you mean by that? And that's
But
when it went
I'm
over.
speaking from a place where it's like, bro, he not requesting a trade. Y'all not trading him. You know what I'm saying? Like they just like I don't think that's what I mean. Like you was in for some reason you was in the Vikings Reddit for whatever reason, and it's like, bro, why are you
I
even?
wasn't in,
Dude,
I wasn't in the
like,
Reddit. It just
I
kept
mean, I
popping
get
up
it.
on my timeline.
I know.
You know how I
Yeah,
am, bro.
but I'm just saying it's like, bro, that stuff, like I have a shield for it now. Between all this Jerry shit that I just went on a 20-minute rant for, bro, I got a shield for all that shit now, bro. I don't hear what no team is talking about. Oh, we gonna get in touch just for Micah. All right. Y'all can dream about it, but until he come out with, yo, I want to trade, I'm not talking no Micah packages. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? And I'm not entertaining it either because I just know what's real and what's worth talking about and what's just an obsolete topic.
Yeah, I just like geeking at dumb shit because, damn, what happened? I paused it. What's going on? Pause. Sent back. I'm like, are you gonna pause? Mm-hmm. Technical difficulties, but yeah, man. See you in the draft, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, for all of us with trash teams, one thing about me, you ain't got to worry about it. You're gonna know about every football player in the top 25. We gonna go through all that. Cowboy Twitter is talking draft next week. It's on. So you're gonna know about all the guys in the draft. You're gonna know about all the DBs, all the offensive linemen, all of the interior, all of that. We got you.
Y'all won the division last year, right?
Yeah.
So the streak continues. It's been like 20 years. New NFC East winner every year. We'll see how it goes between the Eagles and the Commies. But Chargers, Browns. This is a game I wish I bet because I was confident that the Chargers were going to win this one, especially coming off that emotional upset win, Jameis. But like you said, you pumped the brakes on it. Like you don't know what version of Jameis you're going to get. There's a reason why he's a backup in this league, even though he was the first overall pick. And we saw that in this game, some of these picks, very comical, very classic Jameis. But the temperature check I'm getting from the Browns fans is, hey, we'll take a bunch of picks and some funny interviews over that Deshaun Watson.
They're just back to having fun. They're just happy to be having fun with this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, we'll go ahead and draft a goddamn quarterback in this draft or something. Like we don't, you know what I mean? They here
now speaking of that, do you think they draft a quarterback, or do you think, because it sounds like the owner really likes Deshaun Watson and believes in him? Do you think they go quarterback first round? Let's say they're in the top 8.
Does it sound like the owner really likes Deshaun Watson and he believes in him? Or does it sound like the owner wrote a check that has already cashed and the money's already in the bank for Deshaun Watson, so that's what he's going to do?
More like what you said.
Yeah. I mean, again, if this was up to the coach, is it Stefanski? Rob Stefanski?
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski. If it was up to the coach, bro, he would have been gone. And obviously,
I'm hit. But with the money allocated how it is, do you think they go quarterback?
And now I think they probably will have to, because if you're the Browns, one, if you fire your head coach, who is an amazing head coach, if he's fired, I hope that he's the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. First of all, start there.
Yeah,
But
that's hopeful thinking because
but
this isn't on him at all.
but I'm saying listen to what I'm about to say. If the owner is hell bent on I want to start Jameis next year. I mean, I want to start Deshaun next year. He can't fire Rob. He can't fire him. He can't.
Yeah.
He or Kevin. He can't fire Kevin Stefanski because the next head coach that everybody. You think Ben Johnson is about to go to Cleveland and like, oh yeah, okay, I can fix Deshaun Watson. Like who do you, like? You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of how appealing is that job to available coaches, especially ones that that are like a hot commodity. If you're not going to keep the guy that you have, who is actually above average head coach, so it's like if you want to rock with Deshaun, you have to keep your head coach. You have to because he's the only one putting up with this shit.
You know what's funny? I was arguing with some Browns fans because what? Yeah, bro, you know I'll argue with a caterpillar, nigga. You know how I do. But I was arguing with some Browns fans, and basically the topic of discussion was if they're in position to get Shador Sanders. I was like, he's not going to go there. He's going to pull like an Eli. He's not going.
He don't have Eli Poole. Everybody forgets that. Eli. I have hella respect for Deion Sanders, but he does not have Eli Poole. And also, this is not 2003. Football teams don't give a hell about what you're talking about. Shador want to play.
I'm glad you're going there. So my point with it is on top of the Deion Sanders like equity that he has, I think in terms of the Browns and just their history. For one, y'all did Baker dirty. The reason why he performed so bad before y'all got rid of him is because he played hurt for y'all. Y'all get him out of there in kind of a ugly manner. Then you give this contract, this fully guaranteed contract, which kind of rips up any chance of another quarterback getting that type of contract. Even Lamar couldn't get that.
Well, hold on. At the time, he was the best. Quarterbacks like Deshaun don't become available, especially at that point in time.
Well, you know why he got available. But my thing is like, look, going from the Baker situation to the Deshaun situation where he didn't want to go to your team until you made a fully guaranteed. He told y'all no, and then he was like, all right, cool. So he's there for the bread. Now, if it gets to a situation where Sanders is available and he's trying to skip y'all, and y'all are like, now we drafting you anyway. To me, it's going to be like a disaster type look. I think there needs to be some more time away from the whole situation.
They don't care about look, bro. This is Cleveland, bro. This is Cleveland, bro.
They never. I got you, but I'm like, it's just like, bro, like y'all need to turn evaluation. Yeah, I know, but y'all need to turn this around in terms of the sentiment towards your organization. And I think the last thing you want to do with these last two quarterback situations is Sanders is there. You got loudmouth Deion in the background, and then y'all just taking him, even though he's telling y'all he doesn't want to play for y'all, and y'all make that shit happen anyway. I just don't think it's a good look. Yeah, organizations don't care about good looks, but in this situation, I would try to care about that a little bit. Is what I was.
And you would be allowed to do that. But what I've known and I can tell from Shador is that he'll play football anywhere. I mean, he was a 5-star recruit. His pops goes to Jackson State, slides out to Jackson State. Could have state of the art anything. Florida State, go where my pops went. I could go anywhere I want. Georgia, anywhere. Alabama, anywhere. I go to Jackson State. My pops get a job in Colorado, cold ass Colorado, which is similar to Cleveland probably. All right, let's go. Let's do it up here. Like he's not like this ain't again. I mean, you know what I'm saying. And this because this also would speak to Shador too. This would also speak to Shador as an athlete and as his own man. Yeah, my pops don't want me to go here, but I play football anywhere. I ball. That's like, what do you think he's saying?
So do you think they would be split on that? Because if Deion's in his ear, like, bro, because you like yeah, being his own man, whatever, whatever. But he's a little cocky. He's a little
Yeah,
cockier
he's
in his own
cocky enough
right.
to say, "Yo,
So,
I can
and
ball anywhere. I can fix this
he's a little
franchise."
arrogant too. So, what if
Right.
he is like, I will play anywhere, but I really don't want to play for them boys.
He's not going to say that because now all the other teams again. That's what I'm saying. This is not 2003 where Archie got big
But
say so.
are you sure the
Like
other teams aren't like? Well, it is
I'm
Cleveland. You know what I
no,
mean?
because
It
why
is
would he not?
Cleveland
Why would he not treat my squad like that? You know what I'm
because
saying? Why
their
would he?
squad's not Cleveland.
Right. So, all I'm saying is the narrative sounds good, but he's not doing that, and he can't play a second sport. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have he like his pops coming out. His pops can say, "Yo, you can't drive me because if you drive me, I won't play. I'll go play baseball." Kyler, yo, if the wrong team drafts me, bro, I'm going to play baseball.
So let's take it back to Eli. You said he doesn't have the pull that Eli does. Why is that? Why do you think he doesn't?
Well, Archie, they're from football lore. Archie Manning
I know that from
is
football lore,
right,
but
and Peyton,
but,
and also it's not necessarily
I
the
feel like
pool.
Dion's one of the best corners of all time.
So it's not necessarily the pool. It's just a completely day and age. The Chargers would never do that now. If there was that same scenario in 2024, and Archie, like I watch when Archie's going to go to the team that drafts him. He's going. There ain't going to be none of that, none of those antics. If they decide they want to go another year with Deshaun Watson, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to get Archie next year, and Archie's number one. You don't think we'll be dealing with this again? Or you ain't think that far? You ain't think that far ahead of this shit? You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
I think every situation's like unique. So you're bringing an Archie into it. I just feel like we've heard a lot of where there's certain teams like I want him
there,
playing here. I want him playing there. Like we're
listen,
getting that from that camp.
there's nothing wrong with talking and negotiating through the media. You know what I mean? It's been happening
So you're saying
since
that they're
whatever.
bluffing. You're
But it's a
saying
bluff.
that's a bluff. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's a
That's your
bluff.
take.
It's
All
a
right.
bluff. And like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I know we have to wait until it plays out, but trust me on this shit. Like I've seen all the bluffs. You know what I mean? I saw the bluff with he might go to the Saints to play with his boy. That motherfucker is going to the Jets. That motherfucker was on a red eye before they lost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, some of this stuff is if you really, really have studied and like you go into the weeds and you've seen it and you see like past draft classes where, I want to be for this person. I'm not going here. All right, bro, you're gonna go where you get picked. You are. You just are. And the way that the contracts are built and you know what I mean, the way football is, he could be a game changer for the Browns. So that part is enticing.
Here's the aspect of it because you're saying like, oh, it's a different day and age, saying 2003. Well, back in 2003, social media wasn't really a thing. So you don't think the power of social media and how they're able to twist things up might not be a factor that goes against the Browns that kind of
Because
counteracts the difference in like the time period and the Manning cachet.
because Cleveland Brown fans, if you want to make them happy, you get them a new QB. Simple as that. If you want to make them happy, you get them a new QB. Who's the QB they've been watching for the past 3 years? Prime Son. He's good enough to play this game. I've seen him take hits. I've seen him play behind no O-line. I've seen him get back up. I've seen him talk to his team, motivate him. I've seen a cat, I'm hurt. My ankle is shot. Bitch, is you going to come catch this goal ball or what? And that motherfucker get out there and he catch it. I want that guy, bro. What are you talking about? I don't care if you, bro, because if that's how he feels in his heart when he's on that field, that's what's going to come out.
Yeah, we'll see. But with the Browns, I hope they're not in that position. I hope they
right.
All these 2-7 teams. All these 2-7 teams. Yo, step it up, man. Step it up.
Right.
Win some games out there.
That's what you should say.
Hey, you always know I'm honest about my ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Shit. But besides that, the Browns trade Zadarius Smith to the Lions. So, some more draft capital. Maybe they try to move up if they win a little bit too many games. But good win for the Chargers. I'm really high on them, slinging it a lot more, and they're reviving some careers over there. QJ was getting a lot of shit last year. He's
I
looking
mean,
like a good weapon
yeah,
for him.
I,
Jalen
I,
Rager,
I don't
ironically,
know.
another TCU guy. He's getting active. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Lad McConkey. Scooped him in my big money league. But yeah, we'll see what the Chargers can do, man. If they're in a different division, it would be scary. But the Chiefs holding the helm down in that division.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was going to get ready to ask you. I was getting ready to ask you. So what? Like, what do you think the Chargers about to do? They not been to beat the Chiefs to get. But do you think they can sneak in? Or are you saying that they building something over there and there's
oh
someone
yeah,
to
I'm saying
watch
I'm
out for?
thinking for one, I'm thinking they're building something over there, and they're going to be a wild card team. And I wouldn't be surprised if they at least win a game in the playoffs, just
If they get
because.
in,
Yeah, if
if
they get in, like
yeah.
I'm just real high on them. I think it takes a certain like style and a certain like roster or a certain like style of play to beat them. And it's going to be very possible with the teams coming out the AFC, but I don't think any team is going to be giddy to get them in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, you never want a team that all they want to do is play defense and run the ball.
Yeah, and especially
And,
especially especially in wintertime.
so
So
but yeah,
shit.
I'm interested to see. Again, they're in good position right now, 5-3. But
Hey,
they
hey,
still got two games with the
it's
Chargers.
super early, and we don't know the draft order yet. But you know how you really wanted Bowers to go to the Bengals. I
Mhm.
really want Genty to go to the Chargers. That would be dope. I would love
Yeah,
that. I would
yeah,
love that.
100%. See, and that's the thing. It's funny. It's a catch-22 with this Jitty shit because I don't think that if the Cowboys end up with like the middle of a road 8-9 record or something like that, I don't think he gets to 16. There's no chance he's getting to Dallas. So if anybody wants them, they have, you know what I mean? Like they're taking them, and he's going to go high first round. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes between like picks 8 and 10.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
shit.
surprised if top
Bijan
10
went
pick.
at 8, and Gibbs went at 12
12.
that same year. And
Right.
the Lions
So
traded back and did that. If you don't remember, they traded
right.
back and got Gibbs at 12.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't I would I think that ironically enough, I think the Cowboys would have to go like 4-13, 5-12 in order to have a chance for him. But like if we have a shot for him, it's like I don't want that guy. I want the D lineman. You know what I mean? Or I want the blue chip. I want Joe Alt. Like I want the tag someone in the trenches, bro, or Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? I do not want to run it back. I promise you, we can get this production somewhere else. I promise you. I promise you.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that. All right, next up. Next up, Eagles, Jags. I hate the Jags, bro. They just piss me off. Like just something about them just irks me to
Why?
my
Because you would have been
core.
cool if they would have just got smacked, but then they like tried to make a game of it, and then it's kind of like then they did that Jag shit.
Yeah, bro. It's like, yo, Trevor, this is your chance to win the game. And it's like, yo, I don't care what you did in high school in Clemson, my boy, but as long as you playing like this with that contract, your team is going to be ass because your roster not going to get much better than this because of that contract. So you better start playing better, bro. And bro, they were trying to give you this game, bro. We would have
Nah, he
looked
had two
real smart
touchdowns.
today.
He got two touchdowns. He got two touchdowns. I mean, we still look
Well,
smart. They covered the spread.
Daniel Jones had a very impressive touchdown run. I'm not raving about that.
I'll just say he covered the spread. He covered the
He did
spread,
cover, but
and
y'all could have won right here. Y'all could have
and
won right
you
here.
know,
But they are
it's,
missing some pieces on offense. But bro, like y'all still got Brian
listen.
Thomas, Trevor Lawrence Love thrown into his tight ends.
Well, I
ETN,
mean,
what's good with ETN? That boy is
right? He just don't have it no more.
already.
It's just, hey man, it's a lot of carries at Clemson. He stayed for a senior year. People forget that he stayed for his senior year, and he had a foot injury, and this running back thing. It's the wildest experiment there is in American football because it depend on how your body is literally built. That's the only thing that helps you from holding up. I mean, you got James Conner out here who basically looks like he's as heavy as Zeke, but runs the ball way better than he does. You know what I mean? Like he's like, I don't know how he does it, but every single year he goes out there and he plots his way to 10 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, and wins somebody a fantasy football game, like playoff game. He does it every single year. And then you get cats like Travis Etienne that look like they're getting busy, and he hasn't even played out his first contract, and it already looks like his legs are shot.
Speaking of his usage at Clemson and overall running back usage, that's why I love the pick at Tyrone Tracy, because once again, he only had 1 year at running back in college, so he's 25. He's old for the position and just as a rookie in general, but he doesn't have that many reps, and that COVID year did throw a lot of things in the loop. Look at Jaden Daniels. He had that extra year, and I think that has a lot to do with, how polished he looks right now. So
there's something to that. There's something to that because you get that extra year. And lucky for Jaden Daniels, he started college at 17 years old. So he starts college at 17
that nigga
years
looks
old.
17.
He gets 6 years of experience, and he's only 23. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember you said that? He's like, yo, he's the same age as Caleb. But it's like, yeah, because he started when you start at 17. And, 2 years ago, or even before last year, they were like mid-round pick to undrafted. But now he gets all of these reps. He's seen a whole bunch of defenses. So, okay, all right, I know what to do. Kind of like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, you know what I mean, couldn't even beat out RIP, like Dwayne Haskins and a few other quarterbacks over there in Ohio. He had to transfer out. But then it gets to the point where, all right, well, I've seen enough defenses. I got this. Bo Nix, same way. He got to the point where, thanks to the COVID year, they got those extra 300 reps, 1,000 reps, whatever the situation was. It went a long way. And also,
I think Penix is going to be real good when he gets his opportunity too, because he falls into that.
Right. I mean, they've just seen it. I've seen it. I'm seeing a lot. I mean, that's why the older some of these quarterbacks get, as long as their health holds up and their arm holds up, they're straight. That's why Joe Flacco can go out there, and there's things that Joe Flacco can't do anymore. But there's the way that his brain has seen all of this. They know where to go. One of the coolest things Aaron Rodgers actually did one time is they were in practice or whatever. They were in scrimmaging, and Buddy bluffs the blitz. Buddy bluffs the blitz, and he walks up to him. He says, "Yo, hey, he's not coming."
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You're not coming.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they know. And you got to respect them for that. They have the answers. That's the one thing about Tom Brady. I used to say that in his career, it's like, hey, but you can't doubt this man because he just has the answers. He just has the answers, and it looks like Pat Mahomes is next in that realm of just, yo, I got the answers for this. Don't worry about it.
No, facts.
So,
but
Saquon,
Saquon goes crazy.
I
mean, and it sounds like AJ Brown, he's good. Like the injury wasn't too serious.
No structured damage.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man. I mean, they stay healthy. Even, John Dotson had a pretty big impact play, probably his biggest play the past year and a half, 2 years.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. He deserves that. You know what I mean? These cats out here going to practice, working hard every day. Nice to get a reward like that. So it was a big game. They ended up winning. I mean, at this point, bro, I got to be real with you. Kellen Moore about to spank us. This is about to be a gift. I'm telling you, Eagles will score 40 points. The Eagles will score 40 points against the Cowboys this weekend.
Oh, that's what y'all play next? Y'all play the Eagles?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, the thing about the Eagles, which it's going to be funny when it happens, so I'm kind of cool with what's going on with them, but they play a better team. They play a better coach team or a better quarterback. Some of the decisions that Sirianni, it's going to cost them in the playoffs. So
it's going to cost when they play above average teams, yeah. But which is what I've always said. Kellen Moore was at the time I was being picky, I guess, because I was like, Kellen Moore, he can bust anybody that's average. He can be and we ain't worried about you if you're just a regular team. It's when we play San Francisco. It's when we play, you know what I mean, like elite defenses where everything gets tight and he goes back to running hitches. But, hey, I wish I had all that other shit, though. Goddamn. You know what I mean? To not be able to solve problems against the Falcons defense is ridiculous. Like you can't do nothing against the Saints defense that turned out to not even be special. Like, so, it's one of those grass ain't green, always green on the other side. But, Kellen Moore, for all of the faults he has when he plays those elite defenses, at least he can put up 30 points for you.
At least he gets out of there with the dub against when he's supposed to. And that matters a lot in the regular season. Changes your
you got to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, changes your seeding. Make sure that you potentially win the division, put you in a better chance to win. But it also comes back to bite you when you have that better seed and you're losing to a 7 seed.
There's just right, and that's what it is there's a cap on it. There's a cap. There is a cap on it, but however, he can still do enough to get you to that point. So then maybe if Sirianni and Jalen can interject or the talent can overcome it, maybe they can become something. But yeah, that's essentially what the situation is over there. And shout out to Kellen, man. He's doing his thing. He's going to get away with it again. God damn it.
Yeah, man. So next game, we got the Bears, Cardinals. See, I feel bad for Caleb because I think he's better than what this offense has shown us and better than the record that they have. And this just goes back to the Bears front office. You guys have a lame duck coach there, defensive coach, a guy that everybody was predicting like, yo, shouldn't y'all go get like a guy that's a good fit for Caleb? And, say what you want about what Washington was in the past. Clearly a better situation for a rookie quarterback than what they got going on in Chicago, despite the fact that Chicago has the better weapons. You have Keenan Allen there. You have DJ Moore, who is a clear-cut wide receiver one, could play with anybody. That's what you want at wide receiver. And then you have a top 10 pick. You get Rome Odunze, who another player, 100 yards. You know what I mean? He's been doing his thing recently. You have DeAndre Swift. You go out and get him. You have a good goal line back in Rashawn Johnson. If Swift does go down, Rashawn would be good in relief. And this is the product that you're producing, and you're making Caleb look bad, man. I feel like Caleb is in a different situation. We're talking about the Bears in a different light, but I think, I predicted them to narrowly miss the playoffs in that prediction video I did 2 weeks ago. But this is the reason why. Cardinals get another one. This was a sloppy, ugly game, not one that I was really tuning into crazy, but I'm not surprised at the outcome. This is a better coach team with the Cardinals. Shout out to Jonathan Gannon. He's a defensive coach, but he has a better grasp on things. I mean, even like just even the Tyreek Stevenson thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't make him inactive. He doesn't play in the beginning of the game, and then you just push him out there. You're like, yo, stand on something.
Well, no, hey, look, sometimes when it comes to your cover corners, you can't stand on a goddamn thing. Get your ass out there, boy.
Started from the beginning. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? If he's going to be available when you have him in timeout based on something that happened, I thought he came on Twitter, he apologized, he took accountability, whatever. But if he's active, then play him, bro. Like, what is this? What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that was an emotional loss for them, and I think like they were saying that. Yeah, like he, and I think that it boiled over to this week. Like, part of football is it's over with. It's over with. We lost. We got smacked. We lost a tough one. Okay, we process it. 28, 24 hours, maybe 48 hours at the most. But boom, on Wednesday, we back to work. And I think it was just a little tough for him because, I mean, again, the quarterback really wanted that game. He did. You could tell he really wanted that game. And the team probably wanted that game for him, and they had it. But one goofy did some goofy, wild stuff, and you know what I mean? It didn't work out. But there was a lot of things wrong. Like what he did was the biggest eyesore. But there was a QB spy in the middle of the field. Why the hell is there a QB spy in the middle of the field? You know what I'm saying?
I don't. Was there really?
Yeah. Like there was so many things that they did wrong, and it's like you can again attention.
Don't forget the left guard dive that they did in the red zone before that. They were lucky to even be up in that game, which is
Right.
why it's like, yo, Eberflus as a head coach, you need to get these boys together and get over it. And how y'all treated the Stevenson.
Attention to detail matters, man. Like because I've seen what some. Okay, so Indianapolis had the same scenario happen. They were down 20-23 against the Texans, and basically what happened was their whole D line flushed AR all the way out to his left. So they flushed him out to his left, though. Like they angled it to the left. So when he's throwing, his feet aren't set, and he's not throwing to the strong side of his shoulders and body. You know what I mean? He's throwing kind of off balance, so he can't get as much over it, under on the ball. Well, it looks like at least over there in Indianapolis, they prep for. D'Amico Ryans and the Texans, they prep for a scenario like that. You know what I mean? Whereas it's like you said, Matt Eberflus, yo, you're responsible for the defense, and that's a scenario that you should have been prepared
and
for.
they had a timeout. In hindsight, 2020, you're not expecting the Hail Mary to work, but if you took that timeout, that's a chance. Like, does that play happen? Does he still talk shit to the fans in the corner, or is it like, yo, all right, everybody be on? Look, the game's not over until it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Before that happened, they let them score. I mean, they let him gain 19 yards on the play and get out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? Like they let them get 19, which got them in position to where he could throw the bomb. So I mean, they just did again. Bad teams, that shit is always going to show. It's going to show, and I'm not saying that because I think the Cowboys are high and mighty. I'm saying that because we're playing bad, and that's the team I study the hardest. So it's like I see the attention to details that we just miss things. Bijan, there was a fumble. Bijan gets on it, and he doesn't have it. It's in his ankles. The ball is in between his ankles, and our DB doesn't even dive at it. The DB just walks past him and touches him. It's attention to detail, man. You ain't trying to win. Bears not trying to win. Motherfuckers not serious. And the Cardinals, they just scrappy as hell, bro. They scrappy as hell. It don't always look pretty, but
yeah, and they made a move themselves. And Cardinals are a team that I've kind of changed my like mood on. I kind of expected them to lose. I keep waiting, like, all right, this is a spot where I can see the Cardinals losing. In terms of betting, they're just a tough team to like, yo, what's really going to happen with them? But once again, the attention to detail. Once again, shout out to Jonathan Gannon, and they just scooped up Baron Browning from the Broncos. So Broncos were sellers, and we'll see what they could do in that division because that division is very much up for grabs still. And speaking of that division, we have this division matchup between the Rams and the Seahawks. Now this was my lock. Was the Rams to cover. I think it was only like 1.5 or whatever, but it was in the 12-man over there in Seattle. But a lot of teams have been coming in the 12-man and taking their lunch money, kind of muting that crowd out and getting a dub over there. But
you think that's what happened in this one?
What?
I said, you think that's what happened in this one?
I think I just think the Rams. You give them, their pieces back, they're going to find a way to win. And no DK once again, which is why I was so high on this pick. Kind of similar to get to the Buccaneers, but if DK's in this game, this was the JSN. This was the JSN. Like, god damn, I'm getting him high in fantasy next year.
Like, hold on,
don't you have him in? You have him in the league?
Mm-hmm. Did you start 37 points? Yeah, I started him. He had 37 points, bro. It looked like he might not be the same way as DK, but hey, that works.
But similarly enough, look at the Eagles. Devontae Smith. There's been so many highlight plays, even on his own team with Saquon, that people aren't talking about it a lot. But that touchdown that he had, that one-hander, was crazy. And this is what I already hate the Eagles with a passion, but another thing that I just really hate is I really wanted Devontae Smith. I've seen a lot of pundits talk about like they're surprised that he's still playing at this level. which is confusing to me. Did he not win Heisman? Like, did you think? Like, I get it. His frame is small, whatever. But like, bro, I wanted him very bad, and then y'all made that trade. They get him. We trade back. Y'all get Micah Parsons. So we miss out on Devontae Smith and Micah Parsons, which doesn't get talked about a lot. But we could have just sat still and got Micah Parsons instead of Kadarius Toney. Now, the only silver lining with that is we ended up trading Kadarius Toney to the Chiefs, and he was major in beating them in that Super Bowl. So, you know, I eased up off Toney and my hate for him because of that. So shout out to Toney. What team is he on now anyway? The Browns or something?
I wouldn't know.
Damn, this shit dead. What you got nothing to say on this game, bro?
Oh, I thought you was rapping, but I mean,
that's really it. I mean,
Geno Smith again. Like they Seahawks had this joint taken care of. Like they had this in the bag. They over there in the red zone. Two picks in the red zone. You don't deserve to win, man. You know what I mean? As simple as that. You know. So yeah. Shout out to the Rams for pulling it out in OT. Getting an opportunity. I can't really sit here and say that Matthew Stafford had a good game if you watch the game. I mean, but
yeah, but like what we got to talk about is how early Puka was out of there, and Puka, you stupid literally lost me my week throwing that punch. But interested to see how the game would have went if Puka was there. But shout out to Demarcus Robinson, he's looking like an impact piece for him. So, you know, collectively, I'm like paying attention to every team in this division down to the wire because it's competitive. It's not just just give it to the Niners. Like it's a lock. Speaking of, Niners are just on bye. Christian McCaffrey's practice window opened up, so we'll see when he gets back. But yeah, man, this division's going to go down to the wire between the Rams. The Cardinals are 5-4, and we'll see how Shanahan does off this bye. Yeah, number one.
And they already got the win they need against San Francisco, so it don't even matter if they lose the next one. They already got one. They already stole one. So
yeah, now that's going to come back to haunt the Niners because that was close. They ended up winning that one by a point. So, and speaking of, damn, this is going to be a good one. 1 o'clock game, Niners Bucks. That should be pretty interesting. But
sure.
Yeah, shout out to the Cardinals, man. Keep doing your thing. Wait, what's yeah, because the Rams, Seahawks. Lions, Packers. When are we going to have this discussion about Jordan Love, bro?
Well, I mean, he got hurt in the game, so I'm not necessarily
the
sure.
The best ability is availability too. I mean, we've been hearing that a lot.
Right.
I mean, this game was weird. This game was weird.
I was about to say that. Did you? Because there was some shots there where if his line holds up, like you got sometimes you just got to tip your hat off to the Lions. They just know they good.
You know what's funny? Because we always talk about like, oh, Lambeau, go Lambeau. That's where they're used to playing and whatever. But even with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, like they lose a lot of playoff games in Lambeau. And the Lions, say what you want about Jared Goff and, Jared Goff, bad weather, or Jared Goff online, but he came in here and it looks like he plays in Lambeau all the time. Or
again, you gotta context matters.
I know context matters, bro, but this is an important division game, and he came in there and handled business, which is why I have them as the 1 seed coming out the NFC. Because of situations like this, you
think this Jared Goff threw the ball 22 times?
I'm not giving Jared Goff all. I'm not getting. But he didn't. He did what he needed to do. He completed 18 for 22. What
that's what I'm saying.
Why does the percentage not pop up? That's kind of annoying. Like just one more column.
It just gives you the rate. It just gives you the rating. But again, I mean, it's like.
Actually, go ahead, take the floor because what's your takeaway, bro? Because I'm not hyping Jared Goff at all. I'm just saying you complete 18 for 22. You let you don't make any crucial mistakes. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, he did. He did. And the team did what they had to do too. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the Lions only scored 17 points. You know what I'm saying? But again,
what was the crucial
Jordan,
play? What was the crucial play? That one pick six.
The pick. And I got one rule. I got one rule. You can throw as many picks as you want, as long as you get them back. And today he didn't. You know what I mean? And it's going to be days like that. But contrary to popular belief, even good quarterbacks have bad games. Even the best quarterbacks in the NFL have bad games. Timing means everything. So for you to lose a game at home, especially to a rival, is pretty important. But I mean, again, Josh Jacobs does his thing, and the Lions are they're playing good ball right now. Like, this was a tough game. Like, this was going, for me at least, I felt like, this was a tough division game that someone got to win it, though. And the person that made the less mistakes won it. And
yeah, but when the game is 24-14 and Jared Goff throws one touchdown, that pick, I feel like the football gods, and I hated that Brian Branch got ejected like that. Like, yeah. They're treating these players like nobody's trying to get anybody hurt, man. You have to like there's Vontaze Burficts out there headhunting. Like, I didn't
how
like
I feel. I was just saying, like when it comes to the if I had a running, like, bro, if we got a running game like this, Derek Carr can do this. Like, Derek Carr can do this. He can
got
do
Alvin Kamara though.
But what I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying is, he can have this kind of efficiency if you're running the ball this well. You know what I mean? Like a lot of and that's why I'm saying,
bro, this is a team. Jordan Love some bail. That pick,
I don't think this has anything to do with Jordan. Bro, you're talking about Jordan Love. This has nothing to do with Jordan Love. I'm talking about the Lions as a football team, as a roster. Well, I don't know why you keep on going back to the quarterback. Like, that's the only thing that matters. I'm talking about.
What are you talking about? He threw a crucial pick six. What do you mean?
Okay, so the team, right? So Kirby Joseph is on the Detroit Lions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good football team win. That's what I'm saying. The running backs had fucking.
Bro, you're making it sound like he made like a crazy play on the ball and he threw a good pass. That shouldn't even have happened. Like, I'm not
Kirby Joseph. I already spoke on that. I already said that. I said, yo, you can throw as many interceptions as you want as long as you get them back. He didn't.
Yo, right? A pick six and just an interception. That's not a normal. That counts. That's like 3 picks to me. That's like he threw 3 picks.
Right. Okay. And he didn't get none of them back. You know what I'm saying? But as for this team, bro, I mean, it's not about Jordan Love. To me, it's about.
How is it not about Jordan Love, bro? The game is the game ends 24-14. So that's the only
opportunity they have to score.
No, but like throughout the whole game, he leads the league in picks.
Okay.
Like, everybody keeps giving him this gunslinger moniker, and that's cool or whatever. But when we want to I feel like we give the Packers a lot of credit for going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. But I remember, to me it is. I remember last year, middle of the season, they were like, depending on how these last 8 games go, is how whatever is going to happen. He does his thing those last 8 games. He looks amazing. And then he goes in and he beats you on the playoffs. Cool. But I don't believe in the Packers because I'm standoffish on how I feel about Jordan Love.
Okay. All right. No, is anybody saying
because you're talking about the Lions and how they ran the ball? Like, Josh Jacobs had almost 100 yards on the ground. Oh, yeah. He's averaging 7 yards a carry.
He did his thing, yeah. But it's like, bro, Jahmyr Gibbs is breaking off shit and scoring touchdowns. 4th and 1, he ripping off a touchdown. Ben Johnson runs in motion. First of all, what he does is he makes them call a timeout. After that, he runs a motion play. I never even seen this play before. The one that did first touchdown on Amon St. Brown had. Have you ever seen that before? And he runs the motion play, fakes like he's going to do a slant. It just keeps on stuttering to get the outside fade. Perfect ball, touchdown. I'm like you're not impressed with that? You're not impressed with the 4th and 1? And it's like they have a backside wham block and they're able to break it for 18 yards for a touchdown?
bro.
That don't impress you?
What I'm focused on, bro. I know what they're capable of, but that's the game.
I'm
That's
just
the
talking about
game
the game.
script. We
I'm
know.
talking about the game. I'm talking about that right there is like
Yo,
that's impressive.
Austin. I'm looking at the scoring summary. And it's like I thought. It's just an awareness thing as a quarterback. You can't be doing this type of shit. It's the end of the second quarter. You're about to go in the half. You throw a pick six with 30 seconds left in the game. So now you go into the third quarter 17-3 instead of 10-3. What?
Right. Yeah. But they
but you
again,
can't do shit like that. Like you're making it sound like
you don't think he
have to get that back. Huh? I can't tell. I can't tell if he knows that. Because why'd you do that? It's not like Kirby. It's not like, yo, he had his man beat. He threw a great ball. And sometimes you have to give credit to the defense. Like, yo, the defender just made a great play on that joint. But like, yo, that pick six was so egregious, bro. It kind of reminds me, speak of the devil, of like when y'all were playing the Packers and Dak threw that pick six at the end of half. It's like, bro, you can't have that happen.
You know what I mean? But again, I mean, like, hey, like I always say, like, it sucks when it's a pick six. Again, it's a costly turnover. All he did was turn the ball over. But you know, it is what it is. They gotta get it back. They gotta get it back. I mean, it's one play. They had a whole second half of football to play. They had a whole second half of football to play. And like I said, he had time to get that back. He didn't. He just didn't.
It's one thing when it's a shootout or something like that, but going into the half 10-3 would have boded a lot better than going into the half 17-3 when it's all.
And I think they would agree with you. I think they would agree with you, bro.
Who they got next week, man? Let's see if you know he earns me back. Oh, all right. I'm ghost on this for now. Let's see how they do against the Bears. All right, Colts.
Go ahead.
Colts Vikings. Let's just move on. Colts Vikings. How'd this game go again? Oh yeah. So I mean, Flacco didn't play great. I still think benching Anthony Richardson was the right move, but this Vikings defense, you know, they come to play every week. So I see how Flacco does next week. It's kind of hard to judge quarterback play.
This looks like an AR. This looks like an AR stat line.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to really quantify when you're going against this Vikings D that they've been making a lot of quarterbacks look like this, young and old. So
wait, but I thought you had to take that that veteran quarterbacks weren't really worried about Flores' defense after Matt said you said that tweet to me.
What was the pick when I said that? Well, who did I pick? That was the Vikings, Jets in London.
No, Rams. It was at the Rams. It wasn't
because that was one of my picks. And that's when I was like, yo, if they lose this, I'm done with London games. I remember it was that game because Aaron Rodgers was an older quarterback. And when it comes to just like their history, we obviously have Aaron Rodgers higher on the list than Joe Flacco. So yeah. You know what I mean? Like he still didn't take care of that one. So like I've been kind of off that older quarterback versus the Vikings kind of outlook since that game.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. Because I was about to say because Matthew Stafford, when Matthew Stafford got that dub, that's when you sent it. After Matthew Stafford won, they were like, "Oh, Matthew Stafford's so great." Blah 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 blah. You wasn't sizing Matt. You wasn't. But the tweet was. And then I was like, Aaron Rodgers had three picks. And you're like, yeah, that's not the point, though. So, but I mean, again, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad that Sam Darnold had a good game. First game playing without his left tackle. Again, Justin Jefferson, somehow they find a way to get him open. Somehow he catches four passes.
He finds a way to get open.
I mean, I think the offensive coordinator does a good job of.
Shout out to Kevin O'Connell. He that's
what I'm saying. Like he uses all of the field. I mean, this cat gets behind linebackers on play action. He can go one-on-one on the corner on the outside. He might run a post. He might fake it like he's running a post and get back outside on you. Like the way that, I mean, again, like I was saying, I literally watched all his clips today of him getting this 7 for 137, and then I gotta go back and watch my bullshit and watch what the fuck CD Lamb is running, and it's just like, wow, like all 22. If you use your brain, it'll really tell you will really tell on yourself. Like these coordinators and these play callers and some of these some of these coaches, man, you can tell who is adjusting and who is catering to the new way of playing football and all of that. And I just, like I said, I mean, yeah, obviously Justin Jefferson is a special football player, but they use everything. They use everything. They use the entire football field when it comes to this man running routes. And it shows that he had 3 plays for over 20 yards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just 3 plays alone got you over 60 yards. Like, and everybody knows that they need to be watching for Justin Jefferson. And then we got bullshit over here. We got people talking about, oh, well, we can't get Jamar Chase the ball because he was double teamed. Oh, well, they key in on CD Lamb, so it's kind of hard to get him the ball after the second half.
But we do have to give a lot of we do have to give a lot of credit to Sam Darnold because I mean look who's the second in yards, not T.J. Hawkinson on his return back. You got Oliver over there. He got a touchdown, 58 yards. So he's spreading it out a little bit. Besides Justin Jefferson opening it up for the other receiving options and Sam Darnold. Hey man, you gotta keep him and keep McCarthy on ice. But there's no guarantee that we get this type of production out of J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, but I think that's why they was cool with, like, if that would have worked out with the Sam Darnold situation. That's why, I mean, with the Matt Stafford situation, that's why you bite on that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I never thought that was a good idea.
Like, right, you didn't, but I do. Matthew Stafford is such a better quarterback because any other team, they lose that game. They lose that game.
Funny? You know what's funny about you saying that? Because we talking about the Vikings and these trade offers. Bro, I never understood the concept of him even being really available. Like, you know what I mean?
He wasn't available. That's why I thought I explained it to you. It wasn't that he was available. Like, yo, we're trading Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp was available. And if Cooper Kupp would have left, if they would have gotten a second for Cooper Kupp, that would have sparked a trickle-down effect. That's what I was trying to say.
I don't think that doesn't spark no trickle down effect.
Yes,
you trade Cooper Kupp just to get some draft capital, which they haven't had in some time. Because you could get more. You could continue to get production out of Puka, DeMarcus Robinson, and the rest of those weapons, and then reload. And you're not really like kind of like.
But don't you got to get a quarterback? Don't you got to get a new quarterback at some point?
What? Oh, the Rams?
How many years you exactly?
Don't draft one.
So that's what they was about to do. The Rams they know what they're doing over there,
bro. They weren't. Matt Stafford was never going to go, bro. And I don't care if Cooper Kupp went for a second or whatever. Like, it doesn't. Why is that the domino that falls that you trade
because of the relationship that they have? Because of the relationship that they have, Sean McVay, Les Snead, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford have with each other. You know what I'm saying? They literally have a personal relationship. That was the whole reason why
Matt Stafford is his brother-in-law or
something. Bro, you don't remember when they were having the Breakfast Club? They joked about the Breakfast Club, and then I told you about the podcast, whatever that I listened to or whatever. But bro, they really they locked in like that. So you know what I'm saying? And again, they doing their thing right now. And obviously, if they would have lost that game or something, or they would have got the asking price, but they didn't. So we'll never know.
It just doesn't make sense to me. You use your first round pick on Jay. Didn't they trade up too? They traded up. The Vikings didn't trade up. The Vikings did trade up one pick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Rams.
No, I'm talking about the Vikings. I'm talking about the Vikings. You're trade up one.
But you're not. This is for us to make a Super Bowl run this year. If I'm making a Super Bowl run, I want
not even the best Stafford team in your division. Like, why are we treating them like they're this anointed ass team? Yeah, they're not the best team in the division.
They wouldn't be with Matthew Stafford.
I still got the line, bro. There's only so much more. What more do you need from at the end of the day? What more do you need the Vikings to do? Where Matthew Stafford is just that plus multiplier.
We'll break down some film because I think that Matthew Stafford.
Bro, that's my thing. I think I obviously, but that's why I think the Rams keep him because why are you going to be sellers? And you know what's funny? What happened? What I talked about in terms of the best case scenario.
How did Matthew Stafford get to LA?
The Lions didn't think. The Rams didn't think it was good enough. But that was more apparent.
We're gonna do you a service. Appreciate your time here. We're gonna send you to some motherfuckers that know how to.
But that's a different scenario. That's after like 10 years of going through shit with the Lions to the point where Megatron had to retire early, and it's like, all right, bro, like we just need to completely regroup. That's a completely different situation. Either way, it's like you're shutting down. You're like shutting down the Dexter Lawrence thing. You're shutting down the Dexter Lawrence thing, but Matthew Stafford is just super available, like the Rams or some shit.
No, I didn't say he was super available. When did I say he was super available?
But it's like, bro, why are we even talking about that? It's like, yo, it's like you're just super. You know what it is? You're super low on Sam Darnold. You're just super low.
I'm not super low on Sam Darnold. But if I have a chance to have an already Super Bowl winning quarterback, you have to remember what's the name? What's that head coach's name?
Oh, Dan Campbell?
The head coach for the Minnesota Vikings.
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell was on the coaching staff for the LA Rams. When Cooper Kupp got the triple crown, the offensive coordinator was Kevin O'Connell. So it's like that's what I'm saying. This is a different scenario.
I think it's a weird scenario for you guys trade up. I agree. You guys trade up in the draft. You trade up one spot. This is supposed to be your quarterback of the future. You have Sam Darnold here. Yeah, exactly. You have Sam Darnold here.
Even if Matt Stafford is there, he still is.
Yo. But bruh, it's just muddying shit up as if you guys are these world beaters. You're not the best team in your division. And no, I don't think
that's why you need Matthew Stafford. All I'm saying, maybe it doesn't.
The Lions window is nowhere near closed though. So like, you can make that move.
Maybe it actually does nothing for them. But I would that decision. It's like I respect that. And because like I told you, it's because of the tides. If you would have sent that tweet and it was the Bucks or it was any other team, I probably would be like, nah. But because of the ties that they have to each other, it's like, okay, I could actually see them doing the swap. Simple. That's it, bro. That's it. That's all it is.
So hold on. And then when it comes to Matt Stafford's contract, it's like, yo, Sam Darnold, for the price that you're getting him at, give him great production. We got to remember, what was Sam Darnold? He was like, what, the fourth overall
pick?
Darnold,
bro. I just don't think they realized that they were going to be this good. They're good enough.
And I don't think they realized Sam Darnold was going to be playing this good or accounted for it.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay. You think he's playing?
I think you continue rolling with Joe. And then you have to take on Matt Stafford's money, and you have the injury history of Matt Stafford, and you're just doing I don't think it makes a ton of sense. You know what would make more sense to me if it was super obvious that Sam Darnold was just getting carried by the pieces around him, but that's not what I'm seeing from how Sam Darnold is playing. It's not like, all right, yeah, you're doing the hype, but it's really not you. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying I think you're super low on Sam Darnold, because you're like, we should make this move, take on Matt Stafford's money, deal with the concept of him possibly getting injured while we have JJ McCarthy.
So when you watch Sam Darnold, you don't see no old Sam Darnold anymore.
Of course I do. There was old Sam Darnold in that game.
That's what I'm kind of trying to say though. Because it's like you don't want that. Like I feel you, but it's kind of almost like Sam Darnold right now is the equivalent to Kellen Moore. How I feel about Sam Darnold right now is how I feel about Kellen Moore.
Do you think the ceiling is like?
I think there's a ceiling.
There's like
I guess
a pretty low ceiling.
No,
isn't that what I said though? I said
I don't think that it's a low ceiling. I'm saying that I think that there is a ceiling with Sam Darnold, whereas I think with Matthew Stafford, with what they have around him, I don't think that there's a ceiling with Matthew Stafford. Don't get me.
But that's why I'm going so hard about it, because it's like I'm thinking about like, yo, if I'm a Rams fan, I'm throwing a fucking riot if you get rid of Matt Stafford right now because just
No, they're
draft.
not. They already won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but still, we want
And the Rams
one.
don't got no fans. I mean, the LA Rams don't have no fans. St. Louis got some. Shout out to my nigga K-Lou. But like, yeah, they don't like, bro. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't. Like, that's why they can do some of this stuff because they don't have that rabid fan base. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Browns. That's what I'm saying. Like if Shador is there, the Browns fan base is going. They might actually riot. Like they might, like you.
And here's the thing about the Vikings too. That's like a move where like. Even when the Rams made that move, I mean, we're on the heels of Aaron Donald. Like, you know, we have peak Aaron Donald. Like, we're making all these moves for really a run now. I think the Vikings, like, how old is Justin Jefferson? Like 26, 27? It's like, there's no reason to be like, yo, this is going to be our last chance. We need to go out of our way to take on this $40 million a year and replace Sam Darnold. Even though he's been playing well and we have the quarterback of the future right here, it's like a Justin Jefferson's 25 and he just turned 25 in June. Like in terms of their core and what they're doing, don't overcomplicate it and get so giddy because you guys started. But like if they all right, would we even be talking about this if they didn't start 5-0? Like, are we talking about this just because they started 5-0? And I think
that's why that's what I'm saying. It's like it's all of that. I mean, it's the same with the Commanders. If the Commanders weren't whatever 7-2 right now, I don't know necessarily if they like are ready to give up assets to get Marshawn Lattimore, but it's like, hey,
even the Marshawn Lattimore trade, it wasn't. They got him for a pretty good price. I mean, I have a lot of Saints fans on my timeline. They're pissed. They wanted more. You know what I mean?
Like, of course they did, but they don't understand how that capital works, bro. They don't under you. I've always, bro. You get a 3 and a 5. You get a 3 and a 5 for a older veteran player that is Pro Bowl caliber. That is, you know what I'm saying, top whatever at his position. We're going to always 3 and a 5 for that. There's nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. With the Saints, there's probably that emotional attachment of this is Marshawn Lattimore. You know what I mean?
Remember when I tried to say, let me take your guy out of the equation and explain what I was trying to say to you? It's the same thing with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said.
But Dexter Lawrence is 26.
No, and Dexter Lawrence is also not asking for a motherfucking trade. That's why I said Daron Payne and the D tackles for the Redskins because they're older. They're on the same. Yeah, they're on the same caliber, and they got drafted in 2016, 17, 18, just like Marshawn Lattimore got drafted in 2017. They're seasoned vets that still got a little bit of juice that you can rent. They could be mercenaries, and they can make plays for somebody who's going on a run. That's why I was trying to take your guy out. Your guy is not available. You're not available.
Yeah, I still wanted some respect on his name.
You just wanted that respect though, and I was like, I'm not trying to have a conversation about respect for your guy. I'm trying to explain to you, draft like good football players.
Objectively, and this is before he was leading the league in sacks the way he was. I mean, the take. I'm not going to put the pressure on you for how you actually framed it, but you weren't framing it in that way. You were kind of throwing shade a little bit at.
I'm throwing shade at a guy that said I would love to have him.
That's not you making it sound like that's some huge compliment. There's a lot of
players. I'm sorry that's not a compliment to you. I'm sorry that's not a compliment.
For Dexter Lawrence, I need to hear more than that. It's the same way if it's Micah Parsons.
I don't need to hear anything from anybody about Micah, bro. That's my problem. I always say that. I always tell you that. I don't care what
do you mean it's your problem?
I'm saying like good or bad. I don't care if no one praised Micah and they're like he asked. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm happy to have him. Same thing like CD. I don't care what anyone has to say about CD Lamb. That's my fucking problem.
But here's the thing: Micah Parsons already gets his flowers. So I'm dealing with my guy. I'm like, yo,
but that's what it's about, bro. But
like you're not in the same position because your boy already gets his flowers. You know why? Because you guys went 12-5 3 years in a row, and he's been that guy. You know what I mean? He's been that guy, especially when you're winning. Especially when you're winning. And I agree. He wouldn't be talked about like that if you were in like the Giants' shoes and not winning games. It'd be like, yeah, he's nice, but they're not winning.
Right. That's the price that comes with losing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's Dexter. Obviously, it's not Dexter Lawrence's fault, but that is the price that comes with losing. You have to pay for losing. The Cowboys have to pay for losing. You have to. You have to. It's the price for fucking losing. Because if they, I mean, why win? You know what I mean? And like I believe Dexter Lawrence should be defensive player. If you guys were 7-2, Dexter Lawrence would be defensive player of the year. It would not be TJ Watt.
And just to let you know, if he continues playing like this and he doesn't get it because we're losing, I wouldn't care because it's like, well, that's the cost of losing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna find the screenshots, bro, because you can kind of downplaying how you're saying, hey man, I gave him his credit. I said I'd love to have him. That's not all you said though. But
bro, I never said that dude sucked at football. I never said I wish Mozzie could have been. I wish Mozzie could be Dexter Lawrence. I said to you earlier, if you want Dexter Lawrence, you got to draft him in this year's draft.
Yeah, you're saying that now in November. I'm talking about the conversation we were having in September. Right, I don't know if you put him in that conversation. The way you were talking about him, I don't think you're saying. Okay, I don't think you're using him as an example for Mozzie.
You have to remember. Like you're saying, you feel as if he ain't getting enough respect or whatever.
Oh, now he is. Right. But that's what I'm saying.
At the time, that was right before. I didn't feel that way, and I was trying to get your man out of it so you could have that emotional connection out of how.
But I'm the one who brought up the. But hold on, you can't take him out of it because I'm the one who brought the conversation of even the Vikings fans stupid. There was that clip after we had that conversation of them being like, nah, like it was like a Vikings podcast. They're like, listen. Bro, I'm not independently listening to a Vikings podcast. It just went viral on the timeline. They're like, would you guys give up JJ McCarthy for him? Keep in mind, JJ McCarthy's out for a season with his injury. He was like, nah, but if the Giants throw in a pick along with Dexter Lawrence, then
of course they're gonna say that. They're fucking Viking homers. They're gonna hold themselves on the deal. Their imaginary deal, in their imaginary head,
bro. But still, that shit is it's just wild. What I wanted you to do was put that knife in them instead of being so understanding of their fandom.
Bro, I understand fan bases are like they're biased towards their team, so that's why I don't go back and forth. That's like you're allowed to be biased. Someone got to do it. I'm not. Man, you
got to remember. I dive into those little combos and those little spaces for fun.
And I'm like, yo, I ain't got the energy for that. Y'all got it. You know what I mean? Micah for 3/3. All right, yeah, we'll take them. Yeah, go ahead. Come on. Like, why would you know what I mean? Like, what they gonna give up their first round assets, their most important assets, for something that they want to add to their team? No.
Bro, they're not going to give you a fair telling me that we need to throw in a pick for your injured quarterback that we could have had, by the way, that we passed on. Like, it's like, bro, there's fandom, and then there's just like, yo, that's like,
no, that's fandom.
Illusion.
That is fandom.
That's another level, fandom. Bro. I don't
see. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand where they believe that, but it's like I can literally listen to that and be like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like I know how this shit really works.
Hey, but this is why we're yin and yang, because that's you and I'm shit. They caught me. If they were just trying to say shit to piss me off, that shit's always gonna work on me.
Right. How many times do you think I hear? Oh, y'all are so stupid for not having Derrick Henry, and I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I don't even want to dive into that because
at the end of the day,
what you were saying about Derrick Henry in the offseason, not saying that he was trash, but saying that y'all didn't have the bread to pay him or whatever. Yeah. It was just like
they're not. You still even during the season, I'm telling you, bro, we wasn't going to pay him. They didn't even call him.
But take what you know you're going to do out of it. Is not still something? It sounded like it wasn't something that you wanted.
No. I would have wanted, if we're gonna we're gonna go all in, and we're gonna pay money for something. I hope it's a D tack. I hope it's to help with the run. I hope it's a tackle to help block it.
But what D tackle? Well, since you're a Cowboys fan and D tackle, I would like another one in the draft next year to pair with Dex, but. What was there any D tackles available in the offseason like that for y'all to go grab?
I mean, again, I'm not asking for a day one D tackle, bro. I'm not asking for a $15 million a year D tackle.
Who was a D tackle y'all were targeting though? Like in your head? No, I'm talking about like in your dream scenario where y'all able
I don't
to
have dreams. I don't dream about anything because, especially in free agent, bro. I'm not trying to be. I think that's like always the disconnect because like I don't like. I know how they're going to approach free agency. We go bargain bin shopping. If you look at the numbers, we spend the least amount of money and bonuses because we don't sign big prize free agents. They don't believe in it. So it's like I don't go in looking at. I couldn't even tell you.
I don't have dreams. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like it's like, all right, I know how to take this, bro. I know this football team. Like I told you, I'm connected to my football team. I knew how that game was gonna go.
Yeah, I had a chance to win that joint though.
Yeah, the defense did enough to win the game. Offense just didn't. You know what I mean? Like
we'll see if Micah Parsons could come back and win y'all some games, man. You know,
I mean, the defense got a strip sack fumble, and that's all you can ask for Micah to do. I need him to do that shit more than once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mike was there, he probably would.
You know what I mean? I mean, Kirk Cousins, yeah. But like, you know, ideally, if you can get one strip sack fumble a game, you kind of got to be happy with that shit.
And you got to hope for a dub from that shit too.
Yeah. So, you know, offense failed us, everybody. And that's just how it goes when your team sucks.
All right. Last game on the docket, Chiefs, Bucks, most recent game, went into OT. This was a dope game. You know, Baker Mayfield, he continues to try to make the best of his situation. But like we kind of all already talked about, Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Spags especially needs to get more credit. They just know how to win, man. And all the noise about Travis Kelce is cooked. It's like, what makes y'all think that? Did y'all not just see him? Like, you know, the playoffs of last season was this year. Like, it was a couple months back. Like, I'm not banking on him being washed. And he tied his most receptions in a game with this game, 14. And, you know, like I said, though, I think I could still see the Chiefs finding a way to win. But, you know, Mike Evans in this game, I think he would be a difference maker.
I mean, maybe, but like Baker's baking. I mean, he's doing his thing. He had an efficient ball game. Like, no wide receivers, no problem. I'll give it to I'll make my running backs catch out of the backfield. I'll use my tight end. They got a good offensive coordinator. He can use the talent he has on his football team. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Baker. You know, I love how Baker loves Tampa Bay, and I love how Tampa Bay loves Baker. Win, lose, or draw.
I feel like we're going to be saying that every week because that's just, you know, hope he retires there. Hope, you know, they continue to retool and do their thing. But
there was a picture of fans, and they had all of his jerseys from other.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. They having fun over there, bro. They having fun over there. You know what I mean? And that, hey, you know, so like sometimes you lose to the Chiefs, but fuck it, at least we having fun.
And D-Hop got busy. That's going to be major. I think that's probably the biggest story to me is D-Hop with an elite quarterback, consistent. Speaking of having fun, he can't even believe the situation he's in right now. He still can't believe where he at.
I mean, if football with the Chiefs is easy because it's not 2-3 step drop backs and you're supposed to be at the spot. It's like, yo, find a spot in the defense where like find some space in between the zone, and I got you. You know what I mean? Like this is a wide receiver's dream. Rashid Rice was cooking doing this.
Oh my god! I forgot that nigga exists.
Well, you know he does, and like the best thing I ever did was pick up D-Hop, and I picked him up before he got traded. Didn't think he would go to the.
What do you mean you picked him up? He was available on your waivers?
Yeah, he was trash. He didn't do anything.
That's an unserious league.
Trust me. That league pretty serious. Bro, we don't care about names in that league. Like, and he wasn't at that time. He wasn't producing. It was a bye week.
But it's not just about names. It's just I think like I saw him getting traded coming, and that's the type of value that I want in terms of I'm gonna keep this guy just in case he happens to get traded. Kind of similar to Deontay Johnson, how we kind of expected him to get traded for a while now.
Is right, and he got traded to Baltimore, and that kind of screwed Johnson.
I mean, but
So
that type of
it's hindsight 2020.
It
You know
is
what I mean?
hindsight 2020,
And
but there is value in it. Like that's the perfect example
I
of it
didn't
not.
pick him up because I thought he was going to get traded. I picked him up because I was like, okay, he's healthy now, and he's just going to get targets because of the Titans schedule. It so happened to work out that I looked like a genius because he got traded, but I didn't pick him up for that. I picked him up for the team that he was on.
I don't know if you look like a genius or you're
okay,
the niggas
but that's
in your
what
league is just like
right. But if he's hurt, I mean, did you ever own him this year?
No, but he wasn't available, and if he was,
But what I'm saying is, there's a time where you had 3 or 4 injuries at one time, and then also you got to remember D Hop wasn't producing and was also injured.
And so he was still rostered in both of my leagues, even in leagues.
You really, I don't think.
Actually, let's see who got him in our league.
What I'm saying is, it's all relative to your team, bro. If you have a team where four of your studs are hurt right now, you're not dropping Puka Nacua. There's some people that still got goddamn Isaiah Pacheco on their fucking.
Yeah, but we talking about 12-man leagues, and everybody's situation isn't that situation that you're talking.
Right.
About.
So if the owner that dropped them is in a dire situation, they don't have time to keep another injured person on their football team.
How long was he? How long was he on your waivers for before you?
For no less than a week, no less than a few days. I picked him up before waivers cleared.
Okay,
like before
that kind of salvages it a little bit that he wasn't there for weeks on end.
It's not like he was just kicking it, but it's like, yo, I gotta drop somebody bye weeks now. I got guys hurt. He had to this happens. It happens. I had to drop Geno Smith. I dropped Geno Smith because I'm like, all right, bet we bye weeks over. I got my quarterback. I don't need.
Yeah, I'm looking at both my leagues. He just never got dropped, and even in our league, you know who has him and didn't drop him?
Who?
Elias.
Okay. I expect Elias to not drop DeAndre Hopkins, bro. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like that dude is going off the name D-Hop. You know what I mean? And like that's what I'm saying. Elias.
All right, that does kind of go back in your point. So
yeah, like he's not going to drop DeAndre Hopkins, but it's not like he had the wherewithal to start him this week.
Oh, you know why it's kind of funny full circle because you know the trade that is forever going to be talked about in that league.
The DeAndre Hopkins, like Taysom Hill.
Legendary shit. But yeah, man, Chiefs just figure out a way to do it. I cannot wait until they play the Bills in 2 weeks. But who do they got this week? They got the Broncos division game. They should take care of business, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos just figure something out and any given Sunday. And they almost lost this one. Who?
Figure out something. The Bucs are better than the Broncos.
The Bucs are better than the Broncos, which is why I felt like that spread was disrespectful. It was like 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5. Got up to 9.5.
Disrespectful.
I think it got down to 9 by the time the game started. But still, I mean, they won by 6 in overtime.
I mean, but how many weeks have we talked about, like, why are the Bucs being disrespected like this? I get Mike Evans not out there.
It's just not as, you know what I mean? Bro, I mean, there's cats that, like, I started Caleb Williams over Baker this week because, like, the defense and his quarterback's not being there and all of this stuff. And it's like, in our league, I started Jordan Love over him. And Jordan Love was hurt. He was actually the one that was hurt. And it's like, but hey, you can't doubt them. You can't doubt this team. They don't like anything about the team. They don't like the core. They don't like the defensive. I mean, the head coach. The quarterback is
throw him under the bus for the Chris Godwin thing. Like,
yeah,
and it's funny because there's been so many situations where it's like, and I've been damn near tweeting this every week. Oh, they're down 10 with a minute left. Should they just bench everybody?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't listen to the hindsight 2020 shit because that's hindsight 2020. You can get mad at the coach for not going for it. You can get mad at him for not going for it and calling a timeout with 29 seconds left. You at the 1 should probably like let that go down a little bit, and you know what I'm saying. Like, let's milk a little bit of clock. I understand you got to score, but do we want Patrick Mahomes to have 29 seconds? I wouldn't. I would also argue that I probably go for 2 there. I don't give Pat Mahomes an opportunity to beat me, but you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, You know what I mean? This is a good team, and good teams cover.
But this, and in terms of them not going for two, this is why I'm saying I think Dayball is strategically tanking because he can make the
No,
argument.
that's a defensive. All defensive coaches are more conservative than offensive coaches.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying you're down 14. There's plenty of time in the game left. What are you going for two for when you haven't been successful at it? Like I said, this is something I can't prove, nothing like that. But I think he's so smart that he wants to short this team so they could get their guy in there. But we talked about
that was talked about in the podcast too. And again, hey, all right, I'll lose these games as long as I know that I'm gonna be here to be able to use the picks. You know what I'm saying? If he's
funny?
securing his job, then cool.
You know what's funny? How do you talk about like narratives that like it just doesn't phase you? You can just kind of let it go one ear out the other. That's how I feel about any Dayball not keeping his job rumors, even no matter how this team really does. Like I can't envision a situation where that really happens, really, because like whoever you were listening to kind of mentioned, part of the reason why they kept Daniel Jones, it is the owner that really does like Daniel Jones. So you can't put that on that tandem because at the end of the day, his first year there, he made the best out of that situation, made the playoffs, won Coach of the Year, and won a playoff game against that 13-win Vikings team. So he has to sit down and eat it a little bit and give them boys their quarterback, give them the chance to get their quarterback. You got him in as the quarterback guru, right? Let him get his quarterback.
Right. And then, but if once he gets his quarterback, if it's looking the same, then there's going to be
trust me. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but that's not happening.
All right. And I hope you guys hope it works out for y'all. You don't. Bro, I don't got no. Listen, we need to be good. That's more important. Y'all being sucky don't matter to me. Us being good, even if y'all are good, we need to be able to beat y'all. So y'all can be as competitive as y'all need to be. We need to still execute, go out there and win that game.
Look, man, I hope everybody in the division fails. That's just me.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's the majority. I can't worry about that. I gotta focus on being successful. Right now we failing. And we gotta figure this shit out.
I'm good at multitasking. I want y'all to make the good moves.
I'm sure you are.
I want us to make the good moves, and I want them niggas to fail. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, but all right.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a long week. I mean, it's trade deadline, so this is kind of like a little trade deadline special. There's a lot to talk about in this one. But yeah, those are the games around, some more bye weeks. Last week was the Niners and the Steelers, 10 buys. Now this week it's the Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks. So 4 buys this week. More time to talk about some of these games. Shorter little episode next time. No deadline out the way. But yeah, you got anything else?
Nah, all good.
All right. Matter of fact, like, subscribe. We'll be back with the betting and everything else. Make sure you get anything y'all want us to talk about. We definitely want to get to a point where we're taking in some questions and going into detail about it. But yeah, that's it, man. Y'all have a good one. Be smart with your bets out there. All right.
All right.